Attorney General Pam Bondi, who put on a nearly 5-hour Karen-thon in front of the House Judiciary Committee yesterday. And for those who are wondering when the abuse of power will end, the answer is never, probably. So a photographer got a shot of her folder. She opened the folder. They got a shot, and you see a page that says Jayapal Pramila search history. That refers to Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal, a Democrat, with whom Bondi exchanged in one of the most contentious exchanges of the day. The photo appears to show a list of everything Jayapal searched for in the Trump-Epstein files, which, again, we've trademarked. They tracked her search history in the private room at the DOJ, where congresspeople are, legally permitted to look at the less redacted files. And it would seem that they tracked those congresspeople without their knowledge. They looked at their search history to give Bondi an edge in the hearings. And then they're so dumb, they printed it out and put a title on the top. Jayapal Pramila search history. It's such a delicate balance between stupid and evil. And the idea...
But they achieve it.
Yep.
Every single day. All right, Bella and I were both out last night on a school night.
were.
So
Yeah.
we're going to need to snort some cocaine off a toilet seat to get through today's show.
Oh,
Okay,
geez.
people, mainly Chris, are concerned that you didn't catch anything from Bobby Kennedy because you went to the same gym. He's...
I haven't gone to that gym since Trump has been back in office.
Oh, okay,
Okay,
good.
okay.
So,
okay,
yeah.
good. Yeah,
But he-
watch the toilet seats in there if I were you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm not scared of a germ. I used to snort cocaine off of toilet seats.
Your Director of Health and Human Services, ladies and gentlemen.
I never snorted cocaine off of the Gold's Gym toilet seats. I'll let you know that.
We're on, Chris Lavoie's on record, ladies and
Yeah,
gentlemen.
okay.
Ever eaten roadkill or...
I've never eaten roadkill. No.
Okay, so that guy's in charge of giving you health advice. That guy, former heroin addict, snorts cocaine off.
So is that what he's recommending for kids now instead of vaccines? Is to snort cocaine off of toilet seats?
Yes, that is
to
the
build up
official-
immunity.
Yes, that's the official recommendation.
Okay, all
What's
right.
wrong with that? Okay, didn't a couple of Navy ships just? Did we shoot down any other party balloons? And a couple of Navy ships ran into each other. And what else? Am I missing?
We sent in another aircraft carrier to go terrorize Iran.
Oh, right. Yes, because. Okay. Is
We're all gonna
everyone
die.
drunk? Is everyone drunk?
We're all
that
gonna
is driving
die.
this administration. Because by the way, we obviously talked about it yesterday, but I'm still having trouble with the marked safe from party balloons. Okay, just that, and everyone hates Pam Bondi. Bella, you'll be happy to know we were reaffirmed on social media. Said every woman is rethinking her rule of not calling other women the C word.
Yep.
After Pam Bondi.
Yep.
Are you
That rule is totally has been blown up
called
now
women
forever.
the C word before?
Yeah.
When they deserve it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you called me one once, and then
And you kept me employed.
Right. Yes. Yeah. And in his defense, Bella, I was being kind of C-wordy. So
I forgot what it was for.
I don't remember. I think you were being a little, I don't know, PMS-y, but okay. It's both of us. Anyway, and everyone, literally both sides hated Pam Bondi, so it wasn't just us,
Yeah.
right? Like even MAGA, the right wing, I don't even, all these.
Kennedy.
Dana Loesch.
Kennedy hated her.
Oh, yeah, Dana Loesch.
Oh, Dana Loesch.
Yeah. She said she viciously mocked Pam Bondi over her performance, deeming it one of the most embarrassing things I've ever witnessed from a lawmaker. Wow, that's saying a lot. What? Oh, she said, you're asked, why haven't you indicted any of Epstein's clients? And you go, well, it's because of the Dow. And you start going on about that. What in the world? It was so weird.
Yeah.
She made an absolute ass of herself.
Yes.
I agree, Dana. Thank you.
That was Dana Loesch.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know why we have that. It's just random. But yeah.
We got that because she was saying that someone was going to squeal like a pig, and then she made the sound of a squealing pig.
Oh.
So
Some guy has to hear that in bed, is what you're saying?
No, it's her husband is
What?
the guy that did the racist rap at the GOP convention one year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense. Oh, so they enjoy Deliverance. So she squeals like a pig when they're... Okay. Now it all makes sense. How soon is Glenn Kirshner going to be here? Because I don't. Okay. Because did you see Trump yesterday? It's boring. I don't know why anyone cares about this Epstein stuff. It's kind of boring. Standing there next to Nutlick.
Yeah.
Right? It's kind of boring. Really? Really? Decades of child rape and murder and infanticide, cannibalism. Yeah, sure. That's normal. What?
He's even lost Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan said that the Epstein files are just evil. Whoever is in the Epstein files is evil.
That's where I feel like I need to talk to Glenn Kirshner, because sums it up. Genuinely insane that you can have millions of documents proving the president is a pedophile, and they get to just keep on being president. This is the one time where they usually just whatever he says they believe. But did you hear him yesterday? He's like, the only thing here it is. Hang on. Oh, this was him defending Bondi.
Okay.
A.G. Bondi under intense fire from Trump deranged radical left lunatics. They're always for an audience of one, these lunatics.
Yeah.
Like Pam Bondi. She was fantastic at yesterday's hearing at the never-ending saga of Jeffrey Epstein.
Otherwise.
Oh, it's a few decades of child rape, and everybody's so... Oh, my God. I can't. I'm not sure I can withstand this timeline. Much longer. Okay, he said, well, the one thing that's been proven conclusively, much to their chagrin, was that President Donald J. Trump has been 100% exonerated of their ridiculous Russia type charges. It proves exactly the opposite by name. He is named in sworn testimony.
Right.
Okay.
The polls are showing that people are
right.
Even MAGA is starting to
Gallup.
see
Gallup
through all of his bull.
Yeah. Gallup has stopped galloping. Did you see that?
Well,
Gallup's not going to gallop anymore because he broke it. Is he, 36%?
Yeah, they're not going to. I mean, there are tons of other approval ratings companies.
Did he tell them to just stop? Just stop now. Because
Gallup
while I'm at 36%. Yeah.
Everyone else is going to continue.
What's that joke bomb? That's his.
Yeah.
That's his polling.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, that says even MAGA is starting to see through it.
Send that to Harry Anton, will you? Oh. See you then.
Goodness gracious.
Great balls of fire. Look at this. Okay, I'm not reading the whole thing. In fact, this attempt by Democrats to take away attention from tremendous Republican success is backfiring badly. Maybe they should focus on their quest to open our borders so the world's greatest criminals have transgender for everybody and get men, no matter their size or strength, to play in women's sports. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
Are we going back to those old chestnuts?
None of this is working anymore.
No.
Right?
The transgender for everybody is...
Oh, my God. Oh, speaking of, and you get a transgender and you get a transgender, Dr. Oz. Thanks, Oprah. Holy cow. I know you don't like it when I say balls deep, but... in the Epstein files. I can't even remember what the thing is about him.
Don't be a twat waffle.
Okay, can you don't abuse that privilege? And that is a rule you made up. That is there an extra word on it? It's okay. All right. Not fair, Bella. Not fair. Patriarchy. We can't call him a monster.
Yeah.
Okay, just saying.
Yeah, but you could say I'm balls deep.
Right.
But that's not necessarily a bad thing now, is it?
Oh, no, not at all. Not in my case.
Who doesn't love that?
Right.
Context.
This is weird already.
It's Friday.
Thank God. Bella's going on vacation.
Bella's on vacation next week. We got Sean in the seat next week.
I am out of here.
Yeah.
I am out of here, boomers.
So instead of the Gen Z view, we're going to have the millennial view.
That's right.
Yes.
Exactly. Yes, I just thank you, everybody that is keeping me sane on social media. Ms. says, do you know the location mentioned the most in the Epstein files? Not the island, Mar-a-Lago. Thank you. I mean, can we say again, this is only half the documents. I know I've said it before, but okay. Oh, God. Just the stupid will kill me alone. Alluring says, one of the dumbest people alive, Trump. We have a drone-proof ceiling. If a drone hits the ceiling, it bounces off. No, that's not how any of this works. Remember he thought planes were literally invisible? The stealth
bomber was...
Right, Wonder Woman's plane. It's not, okay. Where's my bounce? So he thinks, the drones bounce. They don't. Bumbles bounce. Drones don't bounce. No wonder they... Have we blown up a Party City yet? Have we bombed Party City? What's happening? Have we droned them?
Party City's out of business.
Oh, well, yeah.
Now they
Lucky
are.
for that. Lucky. How they are. Anybody that sells party balloons, right? They're coming for you. Why? I'm going to be Nancy Kerrigan full time. Why do we have to live in the stupidest timeline ever? Why me?
Work to get every Democrat elected this November.
Oh, my God.
That's how you pull out of it.
Chris, who said, you have a right to protest on the street, but that doesn't give you a right to go into the Capitol and disrupt Congress. You can't do that.
Jake Johansson.
No, that was, what do you call it? Jim Jordan yesterday. Jim Jordan.
I knew it was two J's.
Who defended the January 6th terrorists, but he said that yesterday in a hearing.
Yeah, he slipped. Yeah. He slipped and told the truth.
Okay. All right. I have quite a large Glen stack. We are having some victories. I'm getting conflicting reports, by the way, on the ground on whether ICE is actually gone. I'll believe it when Governor Walz
I said that yesterday.
confirms
I'll believe it when ICE is gone.
because I'm getting reports on
Yeah.
social media and elsewhere.
I don't trust Tom Homan.
I don't trust any of them.
I can't understand Tom Homan, let alone trust him.
No. They probably didn't understand what his order
Right.
was. Did he say get out of Minneapolis, or did he say I would like a cookie puss? What did he? All right.
You can say puss on the air.
Yes, just not C. We're just making up the rules, Bella, as we go along. We have no idea. She's like,
It's
just
a lot of
has
gray
her
areas.
finger on the dump button and doesn't know what to do. She's just, I don't.
Well, I do get confused sometimes with the reactions because I'm like, oh, I didn't know that one was a bad word that you can't say. And then you're like, oh, no, that one's fine. It's just,
Meanwhile, we don't even understand any Gen Z words. So
No.
we're like,
Oh my gosh.
we need like UN headsets in here.
Riz could be the C word, but
Right.
no idea.
Yeah, or it could be some sex refuse or something disgusting that Bobby Kennedy would. I don't know.
Sex refuse?
Riz, it could be, it sounds like. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Do I have to hit you over the head with it? Literally?
Well, yeah.
All right. Okay, Toby says the whole administration is involved in this child sex ring with Trump. He's hired his fellow child predators to protect the rich and powerful child rapists. This was, I was saying, Representative Melanie Stansbury. I believe it's just a partial list. Administration officials in the Epstein files: Donald Trump, Melania Trump, Howard Nutlick, John Phelan, Secretary of the Navy,
Yep.
Apollo Zampoli, the Kennedy Center, RFK Jr., Kevin Warsh, Fed nominee, Dr. Oz, CMS, whatever, Elon Musk, Steve Bannon, Alex Acosta, former Secretary of Labor, Bill Barr, and Brett Ratner, director of the Bella's favorite film, Melania.
Bill Barr isn't? Bill Barr? Oh.
Okay.
Let me picture Bill Barr naked.
Okay.
And Brett Ratner naked. Ah, God.
Wow. Do we have a lot to get to? And, of course, my personal comedy, Jesus, John Fugelsang, thing, and Allison Gill, which is perfect because of all the Russian connections we are right back to.
Yep.
Everything in the Mueller report being true. And now melding with our Epstein scandal. All right, 19 minutes after the hour. This Francois, on a Thursday, what have we done to deserve this?
The Dow. It's the Dow. The Dow did it. The Dow. I'm just the Dow. What?
Can you
We're
seriously?
all here because of the Dow.
You guys, I'm Attorney General. What was that? Child rape. Yes, the Dow. Wait, what? Do we have that? Hang on. Hold
I
on.
find
Yes,
that
11.
interesting.
Hold on. I just got to hear this again. Hang on.
He is the most transparent president in the nation's history. And none of them asked Merrick Garland over the last 4 years one word about Jeffrey Epstein. How ironic is that? You know why? Because Donald Trump.
Because it was an ongoing investigation.
Dow,
I'm
the
sorry.
Dow right now is over.
What?
The Dow is over $50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. You're a great stock trader, as I hear, Raskin.
Oh.
Okay. It's over 11 billion.
Okay.
Okay. And he's transparent. You can read signs from behind him. His skin is very thin. Whining. Why are you asking me? You didn't ask Merrick. Merrick was here. Yeah. Did you see my cheeks? They're pretty. I'm really pretty today.
I
Did
went
you
to
see my
Stetson.
outfit? And now I can't blink because I sprained my eyes rolling them at you, Raskin.
And I love that Jared Moskowitz called her out on her burn book. It's like,
Yes.
We
Can I
see
see?
you, Regina George and Mean Girls.
That. I love that. He was like, "Can I see it? Tell me what's the best one you got on me. I really want to know. What's the best one you got on me?"
You guys are fantastic comedians. Can you imagine having like notes on stage and you like read them badly at hecklers? Like you're like, oh God.
Yeah, you have Oppo research on every person in the audience just in case one of them becomes a heckler.
Yeah, really? Guy in the second row?
Really? Because you didn't shave till you were 18. So,
Oh my God.
I talked to your mom and she said you were a fat little kid. Ha!
Okay, more about the Dow, because it has so much to do with child rape. What?
The Dow is over 50,000 right now. The S&P at almost 7,000. And the NASDAQ smashing records. Americans' 401ks and retirement savings are booming. That's what we should be talking about.
I see.
On a hearing about child rape?
The hearing about child rape. They're not focusing enough on the Dow.
Well, no. But she told the truth in plain sight. What she said was, these things are more important than child assault, than sex trafficking, than potentially looking at destructure capitalism in terms of the pandemic, and watching these people implant political movements. All of that. The money is more important. So move on. That was the message.
100%. She's sitting there going, in one hand, you've got a bunch of dirty, poor white girls. And in this hand, we've got money. What do we care about?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what she said.
You guys reposted the really powerful picture of all the victims standing with their hands up behind her. And Rebecca Jones said at the Epstein hearing today, Representative Jayapal asked all the Epstein victims to raise their hand if AG Bondi or the DOJ has refused to meet with them. All of them raised their hands, every single one. And then, there were different pictures from different angles where she's laughing or smirking, and these women are right behind her, right?
That's right. And you got Howard Lutnick behind the president. Every time he brings up Epstein, he tries to laugh it off. You were in business with him, Howard Lutnick. And here's the thing, as we're looking at these horrible sexual assaults to women, girls, and children and babies, he is creating coin with the president of the United States.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're making money. He is creating a currency for his children that he took on the island. And I just want to say this, okay, to every sexual assault survivor.
That was like, what's a jukebox?
I'm sure you've seen a jukebox.
I know what a jukebox is.
All right. Stop mocking the Gen Zers, people.
She's not dead.
We're old and bitter. We have nothing else to do. Denise from Ohio says, Steph, we totally need that British Parliament guy who called for order to deal with the likes of Pam Bondi. It's true.
Order.
Can we bring him here for the next time a Trump administration official testifies?
Sure. Okay. Order.
And maybe he could. Maybe we could also have him say, "Stop being such a C word."
Okay.
Sue in Rockville. Hello, Sue. Hi.
Hey, you also need the film clip where Al Pacino says, "You're out of order. You're out of order."
Yeah.
The Democrats.
Whole courtroom's out of order.
What kind of show are you guys running here? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Listen, Let's take the picture of Pam Bondi ignoring the Epstein survivors with their hands raised and make that a metaphor for the entire Trump regime.
Yep.
They have ignored the women. They have ignored the immigrants. They have ignored our rights. They have ignored everything except profit and protecting Trump. And we need to bury them while, even Dallas
that picture,
not doing polls anymore.
That picture is iconic. It'll go down in history. I mean, someone was saying we're like at the Handmaid's Seal where all the handmaids like tear that guy apart. We're like the rage that people felt to just see her smug face laughing and with her back to these child rape survivors, right?
Or when the kids tear apart Aunt Gladys in Weapons.
Oh my God, I love that scene. It's so good.
It is so good.
Okay. You always update my references. Much appreciated.
Well, Amy Madigan is up for an Oscar, and she was Aunt Gladys.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, good. All right, let's go to Michael in North Carolina. Hi, Mike.
Hey, Mama. Pam Bondi is paid with our tax dollars. My money pays her salary, and I want my money back. She's in a congressional hearing campaigning for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
She's not doing
the
work of an attorney general.
Exactly. She's supposed to work for us. Yep. Okay, in order of our victory over party balloons, Rocky Mountain Mike has what?
Out in the West Texas town of El Paso, Trump shut the airport down Mexico way. Nighttime would find me stranded in El Paso. They canceled my flight because of some drones. One night a drunken Hexeth came in, gassed as the West Texas wind. Creepy and boring, not straight was his story. If he would just leave now, that we would love. But they say that they'll shut down the airport right here in El Paso for 2 weeks, maybe 10 days at the best. I see the rental car counter is full now. I'll go with Avis and not all the rest. That got me nowhere, no rental car found me, feeling the weight of Trump and his big lies. Now is the time to just hitchhike on out here. One final finger, El Paso. Goodbye.
Wow. All right. Fancy guitar there. Yes, Reggie said, anyone else find it unsettling the so-called greatest military in the world with all their advanced equipment can't tell the difference between a Mexican cartel drone and a party balloon?
Right.
Yeah, just a little bit. And Garden Witch says, Pete Hegseth out here playing bumper cars with $15 billion Navy battleships and shooting birthday balloons down with $1 million lasers without even notifying the FAA. And these are just normal Thursday headlines. We are so unserious. Okay, Glenn Kirshner, next.
Hi, and welcome back. Just 1,072 days left to go in our countdown to liberty. Today, Donald Trump and Lee Zeldin appearing in the Roosevelt Room rolled back restrictions in deregulated industries, allowing good, clean, wonderful coal and cheap and unsafe cars. Zeldin says that's what we want. He also said that Donald Trump, no one adheres to the rule of law like Donald Trump. Meanwhile, Donald Trump said prices are going to go down, the tariffs are successful, and Mumble Donnie, we got the low-energy Donald today, is getting ready for a trip outside of the district and probably won't be back until next week. Meanwhile, in the Senate, well, they're trying to hold DHS responsible for the murder of 2 people in Minneapolis, but so far, no success, so DHS may lose its funding. Stick around, folks. The weekend's only going to get better. See you next time.
Well, the latest word is that all non-military foreign assistance, more than $30 billion, is now contingent on a promise not to provide, discuss, or even acknowledge abortion care, gender identity, diversity, or equity. You want the money? Disavow your beliefs. For over 50 years, MSI has delivered contraception and safe abortion care in some of the most hostile environments on the planet. Powered by local providers, a resilient social business, and diverse funding that doesn't collapse every time politics swings hard right. Right now, individual donors are what make that resilience possible. Go to msiunitedstates.org. That's M for modern, S for safe, I for informed. msiunitedstates.org, msiunitedstates.org, or text my first name Stephanie, STEPHANIE, to 511-511. Text Stephanie to 511-511. Go to msiunitedstates.org, or once again, text Stephanie to 511-511 today. Text fees may apply.
When you listen to true crime, what you hear are sound bites, fragments, people giving their commentary on what happened. It's rare that you hear from those closest to these stories, and that's what makes Unheard True Crime in Their Own Words different. We give those people, the survivors, families, insiders, and even at times perpetrators, the space to share their story the way that they want it told. Unheard, hear the stories you thought you knew from those who lived them. No gimmicks, no angles, no editing. Streaming now everywhere you listen to podcasts.
Oh, well, hey there, Steph Heads, if you love the Stephanie Miller Show, and who doesn't, but don't always have the time to listen to the full broadcast, or if you aren't always up at stupid o'clock to listen from the beginning, you need to subscribe to Stephanie Miller's Happy Hour podcast at no additional cost. Stephanie Miller's Happy Hour podcast, the best way to make sure you never miss the opening segment or the best interview of the day ever again. Download or subscribe to Stephanie Miller's Happy Hour podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Never miss a memorable laugh out loud moment ever again. It's one of the best and easiest ways to support the show.
That he was a terrorist and an assassin, that people aren't believing that it's going to be an honest investigation. There has to ultimately be repercussions. Some of the stuff's inexcusable.
Yeah. You're right.
Rand Paul has become the voice of reason. What has happened? Dear God, I need my hero. Thank God former U.S. Attorney Glenn Kirshner is here.
Get me Glenn Kirshner. Glenn Kirshner.
Former 30-year federal prosecutor Glenn Kirshner,
I can listen to him talk all day.
who has answered the call for his country once again.
Glenn Kirshner.
MSNBC legal analyst Glenn Kirshner.
On the Stephanie Miller Show all day.
Piercing blue-eyed Glenn Kirshner.
We got that Glenn Kirshner now, and I feel okay.
Oh, hi, good morning, Glenn.
Good morning, Steph.
The legal stack is becoming too heavy to lift.
It's a thing.
It's heavier than a Pam Bondi binder. Can I just say one thing? My sister and I were talking about, this Pam Bondi thing, and my dad, former Nuremberg prosecutor and vice presidential candidate. I said, Dad would just not believe that this is actually the Attorney General of the United States of America. I mean, it is just so endlessly humiliating, isn't it?
She's made herself a joke, and even MAGA is walking away from her. I would say her days are numbered, but with Trump, who knows? But, she has just disqualified herself as a legitimate, never mind serious, Attorney General.
Yeah. So Glenn, you know what? I saved some posts for you because this is how I feel, and it just so I keep saying sometimes it's where I find my sanity is in social media because you and I have talked. I feel like to a large degree the mainstream media falling down on the job as usual. But someone said genuinely insane. You can have millions of documents proving the president's a pedophile, and they get to just keep on being president. Someone else threaded, let's see, Wendy said, I'm genuinely confused. We're dumping Epstein files, parading names, laying out rape and pedophilia like it's a spreadsheet, and then nothing. No accountability, no arrests. Are we supposed to stare at this filth and pretend exposure equals justice? Because right now the system is saying, here's the proof, here's the monsters, now go back to work and shut the hell up. Impeach Trump and his administration. I mean, I get why we are where we are, but I think it is astounding to be able to read this stuff and try to process it. Can you help us with what your reaction has been?
You know, when we see that there is accountability coming around the world, right, in the UK, in Norway, and elsewhere, we in the United States, courtesy of two dogged representatives, Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie, we force, the revelation of these horrific crimes, and people around the world respond, right? The UK instantly initiates criminal probes, and they get search warrants for powerful people in the UK who are implicated in the Epstein file. And we do nothing. We do nothing to, bring accountability to the people who were involved in this sex trafficking ring. I can't explain it other than look at who sits atop the Department of Justice, Pam Bondi. So I guess it shouldn't be a surprise that fighting this kind of crime is not on her agenda.
To your exact point, that was the last one I saved for you. Ron Filipowski said, in governments around the world, people in the Epstein files are resigning in disgrace. In private business, executives in the files are resigning in disgrace. In the Trump administration, nothing happens, since the boss is in the files more than anyone, and the party is filled with cowards. I mean, that's really it right there, right?
Pam Bondi wouldn't turn around and look the victims in the eye, victims who had been begging to meet with the Department of Justice. So what was done to them could be addressed. She wouldn't even turn around. Instead, she said, well, the Dow is up $50,000 or 50,000 Legos or something. I don't know.
Oh, my God. It became a meme everywhere, right? There's Jack and Rose on the Titanic. It's okay, Jack. The Dow is above 50,000.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, you can use it in any way. Oh, by the way, it's under 50,000 now. So now do we get to care about child rape again? Or is that...
My God, yeah.
Did you learn that in law school?
Yeah.
That's dark. You went dark.
Well, is there any other kind?
Well...
Glenn, let's look at the light for a minute, shall we? Because the courts are holding even Trump-appointed judges, right? I mean, let's talk about some of this. So, Trump-appointed judge rules ICE violated constitutional rights of Minnesota detainees, drops the hammer in a strict order. This is a sharply worded opinion that ruling the administration violated the constitutional right of the detainees at the ICE facility there in Minnesota, granted a temporary restraining order with strict new requirements for ICE agents. It blasted the threadbare declarations. I mean, they're basically not letting people call attorneys, right? Anyone that's watched a crime show knows you get a phone call, right?
Yeah, and Judge Boasberg, the chief judge in D.C., just ordered that all of the Venezuelans who were unconstitutionally deported and put in that prison in El Salvador, all of the ones who can be identified and want to be returned must be returned to the U.S. on the government's dime. And I mean, and I hope we'll talk about what's going on with Senator Mark Kelly, who beat the Department of Justice one day.
You complete
and then
me.
He beat the Department of Defense the next day. So let's tackle that.
Let's look on for 1 second, since you brought up detention. This is new news circulating today. Our friend Joe Walsh, a 7-year-old, died in ICE custody of dehydration. Officials called it unforeseen. She asked for water 3 times. That's not an accident. That's murder by indifference. I keep trying to, remind people, Glenn, that the first people didn't die in the gas chambers in concentration camps. They died of, malnutrition and untreated, disease, etc.
Yeah, and Steph, in case people forget that everything is riding first on the midterms and then ultimately on the next presidential election, these murders that are taking place, children in ICE detention, Alex Preddy, Renee Good, and others, these murders can and will be addressed. The minute we have a legitimate Department of Justice again, a legitimate president, a legitimate attorney general, we will investigate and bring charges if the evidence supports it for all of these murders. So it's all on the line right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what you saw Keith Ellison yesterday saying that federal agencies are still blocking our investigation into the murders of Alex Preddy and Renee Good. I mean, I know your concern as a prosecutor would be that, you know, they took the evidence. They took Renee Good's car. Right? I mean, he said, we haven't had any cooperation up till now, which is very unusual because in prior cases, there's been a federal and state interest in a crime. We've seen collaboration between, I mean, again, never happened before.
There's no difference between the Department of Justice concealing the evidence of murder from state law enforcement authorities that want to investigate and prosecute it. No difference between that and hiding out a killer in your basement who is wanted by state authorities. It is the same kind of obstruction of justice and accessory after the fact. So let's make sure we get the rule of law back into the light of day so we can prosecute these things.
Yeah. So, let's talk about the good news. So that I don't know who it was that listed Pam Bondi all of their losses, but it really is just, it's great news, but it is beyond humiliating. But, Mark Kelly was saying this just means follow the law, what they said. But Donald Trump and people around him don't like it when somebody presents something he doesn't agree with. He thinks he should be allowed to do and give whatever order he wants because he's a wannabe dictator. The judge also ruled Hegseth can't cut Senator Kelly's benefits. So talk about a double victory there.
Yeah, back-to-back days. One day, the grand jury sitting as the conscience of the community, thank goodness for the grand jurors, standing up to Jeanine Pirro's prosecutorial abuse. One day, they refused to indict Senator Kelly and the other 5 members of Congress who simply spoke the truth, that military members must disobey unlawful orders. Think about if the contrary were true. If they were required to obey unlawful orders. So if a superior commissioned officer said, kill those unarmed civilians, they would have to obey that. That would be the end of the legitimacy of the United States military. So the fact that Jeanine Pirro would send somebody into the grand jury to try to indict members of Congress for speaking the truth, indict innocent people, is it's an abuse of prosecutorial power that is beyond my comprehension. But he beat DOJ one day, and the next day, he beat them in the civil case where Judge Leon, after quoting Bob Dylan, you got to love that, Judge Leon said, our retired veterans deserve more respect from their government, and our Constitution demands they receive it. And I love the quote right before that of Bob Dylan. He said, Bob Dylan famously said, okay,
I was going to do it if you didn't. He said, there's a choice we're making.
He said, Bob Dylan said, you don't need a weatherman to know which way the wind blows in smacking down Pete Hegseth. So listen, we're on a roll now, right? Yeah. Good things are happening. And now it's time for us to ratchet up our engagement to keep justice trending.
Ratchet. Bougie. Okay, now you got me thinking of the songs. Okay, so Justice Department again defended Pam Bondi's appointment of Lindsay Halligan as interim U.S. attorney in an appeal of the judge's dismissal of indictments against Letitia James and James Comey. The filing Monday argued that U.S. District Judge Cameron Curry was wrong to dismiss the criminal indictments based on the finding that Halligan was unlawfully appointed, except for the fact that she was unlawfully appointed. Am I correct?
Yeah, no, this one is going nowhere. And listen, the good news, Steph, is they keep trying to prosecute innocent folk and they keep losing. They're getting smacked down by judges. What does that do? It exposes Donald Trump as a weak wannabe dictator, not a strong wannabe dictator. So you know what? Keep the vindictive. We've got Don Lemon in court. Keep the vindictive prosecutions coming because you're going to keep losing and you're going to keep getting weaker, period.
Let me end with what literally every person in my life asked me about, and that is election security for the midterms. So the FBI affidavit reveals legal basis for Fulton County election raid. Did you see this? The affidavit does not name suspects or allege a coordinated conspiracy. It acknowledges that prior state reviews, of course, it claimed run by Trump voting Republicans said this was free and fair. So I don't even, what is the legal basis for
There
what?
isn't one.
Okay.
And I'll tell you, the magistrate judge that got snookered into signing that warrant based on debunked election claims, election fraud claims, that person must be, hearing it from other judges at this point. But the election security piece is huge. But I'll just quote Secretary of State Shenna Bellows up in Maine, and she's great. She said, you know what? Every election cycle, we protect our polling places here in Maine, but we usually protect them in the event of a natural disaster, a flood, a fire, or now we're protecting our elections against our own federal government. And that is what the state governors, attorneys general, secretaries of state are doing. And Steph, I think they're up to the task because they recognize what Trump is trying to do.
Two last questions on this. So which right-wing douche canoe was it you sent me that said, ICE absolutely should patrol the polling locations? Can they do that? Is that legal?
No, not lawfully. No.
Okay. Well, that would be the caveat in the Trump administration, but So the other thing is mail-in ballots. So Trump yesterday, of course, said, no mail-in ballots, no mail-in ballots. We're the only country that has mail-in ballots. Okay, so as someone said, this is a lie. Other countries have it. Trump uses it regularly. Bottom line, they're afraid of you voting. But
well, you know what? Here's what I say to Donald Trump.
Can they stop mail-in voting is my question.
You know what, sport? Why don't you go ahead and stop it in the red states? Just stop mail-in ballots in the red, because let's face it, the states run the state elections, even for president. But you know what? I'm telling you, the blue state leadership, they're doing everything to make sure the polling places are safe. So just like when they tried to gerrymander districts in Texas and it went down in flames, but they did it in California, who ended up winning that battle? We're going to win the polling place battle too.
Well, and also it makes no sense when you think about it. ICE, this thing that illegals vote is another complete and total lie. They are not eligible to vote. In any study they've done, if it's happened 0.0001% of the time, so it's a complete myth why you would need ICE at the polling places, right?
It is, and look at the way some of the recent elections have gone. The swings in favor of the Democrats have been just remarkable. That is a sign of what's going to happen at the midterm. So as long as we get out in huge numbers, and I believe we will, you know what? They got a world of hurt coming their way.
Yep. Glenn, great stuff. You
always great stuff.
Make me happier. It makes me so happy. Oh, I wore this Camelot shirt for you in an alternate universe where we elected the prosecutor and not the pedophile.
Yeah.
So
it's just I'd be back at DOJ. I'd be back at DOJ today.
Oh, Attorney General Glenn Kirshner. I'm going to live in this delusional world at least for the weekend. All right. Thank you, Mr. Attorney General.
All right, Steph.
See you next week. All right. 49 minutes after the hour. Tom, can I just say, you posted Russia wants to annex 22% of Ukraine's territory in order to stop the war crimes, but there's at least 1.5 million Ukrainian kids and families in the occupied and disputed territories. Putin intends to erase their identity, make them Russian, and that must never be allowed to happen. I often say it's all one story, but I don't know if you saw this from Heather Cox Richardson. She said, I think we may be beginning to understand what Putin has on POTUS. Poland announced it was launching an investigation into whether Epstein was tied to Russian intelligence. More and more leads, more and more information, more and more commentary in the global press all relate to the suspicion that this was unprecedented pedophilia scandal was co-organized by Russian intelligence services, Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk said. And this is happening all over the world in countries that are taking the Epstein scandal much more seriously than we are. They don't have their own Pam Bondis, right?
Exactly. And of course, all this makes Vladimir Putin, former KGB agent, a freaking evil genius to have pulled this off, which I actually think he did. And by the way, and of course, it's not just Trump. It's Steve Witkoff. There's a whole cadre of people that are part of this bizarre relationship network that has undermined international security, undermined the global order, and has caused us to be in a situation where we're potentially looking at America's downfall. I don't want to be dramatic about it, but man, downfall, you got to pay attention
Yeah.
to that, don't you?
Yeah.
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 But
Incredible.
again, it looks like, we may get help from around the world in helping this dam break because, again, someone was saying the perfect analogy, once you understand that Pam Bondi is Trump's Ghislaine Maxwell, this all starts to make more sense. I mean, go ahead. Yeah.
And no, I'm just going to say that the international intricacies now are incredible. The other thing about internationally is in most normal countries, when a public official, a senior public official, gets caught being snared up into a scandal like this, they leave. Not only did they leave, their bosses have to leave.
Right.
Which is why Keir Starmer may not be the Prime Minister of the UK very long.
Yeah.
And we're so abnormal that we're allowing these people to continue to fester in our own country. It's really kind of crazy, no?
Yeah, absolutely. You also had some thoughts. It is just every day, right? Measles outbreaks. It's a difference. Every day we do a different story that's just astounding in 2026. But you said so. Dr. Oz, TV miracle cure doc, now head of Medicare and Medicaid, says that our kids should get measles shots, and wait for it. That's what he and Bobby Kennedy have long been promoting. Really? I must have missed that.
I must. It was, surreal. This was surreal to me. I actually thought it was a joke. When he came out, when Mehmet Oz, the guy who was selling snake oil on TV after he was not allowed to return as a surgeon to Columbia Presbyterian Medical Center in New York, gets appointed to run Medicare and Medicaid in the United States, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, announces, I think we have a measles outbreak, and I think people ought to get vaccinated. And by the way, Bobby's been saying this all along. No, he hasn't. Man, he has not been saying it.
You said
he's saying the opposite.
Right.
It's like the opposite.
You
oh
said,
my God.
Well, I'm thinking of maybe one of your old med school public health professors must have let you know that we, out here in the actual real world, have been dealing with massive measles outbreaks that already have caused the death of 2 kids since RFK has been HHS secretary. And you said, and Mehmet, you understand that Bobby has been a global gold medalist and promoter of anti-vax, anti-science conspiracies long before he became America's health czar. You guys, all of you, have a lot to answer for. Meantime, please don't let him try to eliminate polio vaccines. Can you do that? I mean,
I don't know that he could do that because there's already been rumblings that, maybe the measles vaccine is worse than the disease. A completely kind of like a psychotic thing to say. That's not a formal diagnosis.
Right.
It's just an informal assessment from the pediatrician at large here. Yeah, man, it's bad, Steph. Yeah, it's bad. And it doesn't get better.
Yeah.
Never does.
This anti-vax stuff. So the FDA has declined to review Moderna's application for an mRNA-based flu vaccine, a decision that shocked the company that comes as agency plans to tighten federal vaccine approvals. Love letters, but only for Bella these days. You know how it is.
well, yeah.
We've aged out.
Yeah, stop it.
Daryl says, I'm sorry, Mama. Although you've said many funny things throughout the years, nothing will ever be more hilarious than Bella saying Lady Goo Goo. I think she was mocking old people.
I think so.
A little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
All right. Well, I have a combination love and hate letter from our friend Christian, who is our noted, what would you call him? A ring boy at Sexy Liberal Los Angeles.
Yes.
We made him wear, we just had you show Bella him in a
Yes.
Speedo.
Speedo.
That's something, isn't it? That is something. That is. He's a very popular ring boy.
Yes.
Hey, Stephanie, first I want to mention I can't believe you spent an entire segment last Friday concerning enlargement to the genitals by injection of the Olympic athletes and didn't mention me once. I always think of you, Christian. You were in my mind.
In your spank bank?
Yes.
Okay.
Always.
All right.
You took the conversation in a different direction.
Right.
I apologize, Christian. I never think of, cartoonishly large genitals without thinking of you. How rude. Whenever I see a dusty box, I think of you. So you should think of me anytime you think of injections in genitals. Anyway, you had a caller who I mentioned how much they appreciate you, and sometimes they can't listen to the news, but they can listen to you. I want to concur on that one. I really appreciate that you're both human and funny on your show. You allow yourself to express the total exasperation we're all feeling, then all of a sudden, off the cuff, come up with a joke. It really helps me process everything that's going on right now. Also gives me something to talk about with Chris when we work out on Saturdays. Aw. Anywho, love you. Hi, Bella. You're doing great. Chris, you're often right. Love and kisses. Oh, that's where you lost me. That's where you lost me, Christian. I will never, ever speak of a huge genitalia without mentioning you again, Christian. All right. Robin in Minneapolis. Hey, Robin. Give us a check-in on, do you feel like ICE is left or are leaving?
No, we're not giving up. We're not going to let them believe that they've fooled us. They're tooling around and trying to pretend that they're electrical workers and, taking on disguises and things like that.
Oh, jeez.
So it's not over. Not one bit. And I got a letter from my friend Mike Pillow.
Oh, no.
Oh, your next governor.
Yeah, he's running on, he wants to get the tampons out of the boys' bathrooms.
Oh,
that's right.
my God.
And he wants to end Sharia law. And clearly, those are the two biggest problems we've got.
Yeah, of course. Robin, that story is the best story in a Minnesota accent ever.
At the Harmar.
She's the one that told us about the Harmar. That's where the original My Pillow kiosk was.
Kiosk was at the Harmar Mall.
Gosh, yeah. Okay. Oh my God, it's like a bad. What's all the disguises? 007 movie or something? Like they're trying to pretend they're not ICE.
Yeah, Master of Disguise.
Clown show.
Turtle.
Okay, John Pugh was saying, and Allison Gill all coming up.
It's the Stephanie Miller Show.
Executive branch is spying on Congress people in the legislative branch is deeply disturbing. And I'll tell you what, you can be damn sure the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson's going to have something to say about it.
I don't think it's appropriate for anybody to be tracking that. So I will echo that to anybody involved with the DOJ. And I'm sure it was an oversight. That's my guess.
No, an oversight? That's a bad guess. An oversight? You mean somebody forgot to not track and document everything elected members of Congress were privately looking up? That is a hell of an oversight. I think it might be.
Thank you, Jimmy Kimmel. Roe says, good news. The Dow's back under 50,000 today, so we can go back to prosecuting pedophiles.
Oh, good.
Thank you, Pam Bondi, for giving us a reason to appreciate market declines.
Aww.
Yeah. Safe to put child rapists in jail again. Whew. Thank you,
God.
Dow. Yeah. All right, so we just had Robin calling from Minnesota. We said this the second it happened yesterday, Chris. The news broke during our show. Bowman saying they were, pulling ice out of.
Yeah. I'll believe it when I don't see them.
As Robin said, oh no, they're still stalking around and pretending to be electricians and stuff, which was fantastic in that Minnesota accent. But Ann on social media said there are still 307 reports of ice in Minneapolis today. They are not gone. That's exactly what Governor Walz said yesterday, right?
Yep.
Trust but verify.
Yep.
I hope so. I have hold please. I'm a little discombobulated. Mommy can't go out at night. Okay. Who said they thought they could break us, but our love for our neighbors, our resolve to endure, can outlast an occupation? Who said that?
Romeo or Juliet.
No, that was Mayor Jacob Fry.
Oh.
You should know that because we have that.
Oh, well, okay.
Here he is now saying that. Minneapolis Mayor.
Obviously, there's progress in that they are leaving right now, but as far as some deal that was struck to get them out, the answer is no. I think what you saw is a federal government and an administration that thought that they were going to break the people of Minneapolis down. We didn't. The people of Minneapolis stood up. They stood up for their neighbors. They loved on each other. And I think that's the kind of patriotism that is ultimately going to get us through this.
Yeah. Because this is what he was referring to, Baby Goebbels, Pee Wee German, Stephen Miller said this.
With this agreement, those jails and those prisons are no longer going to obey the unlawful edict issued by Keith Ellison. Instead, they're going to follow federal law, the supreme law of the land, and hand over those criminally illegal aliens.
I'm sorry, just automatically cue the Hitler whenever we die. Yeah, because then he always gets more exercise if he gets challenged even a little bit. He starts to go into the original German.
Yeah.
The supreme law of the... Who talks like that? The supreme law of the land.
Nazis talk like that.
I mean, that's what he's claiming. Oh, they made a deal to hand over blah, blah, blah. And Mayor Fry's like, no, we did not. So this is why you can't try... Oh, I'm sorry. Do you have more? Oh, yes. Okay. Right. Yes. Got it, Stephen. Okay.
And then they went to Hitler Burger.
Yes, and then they went to get my lunch.
Yes.
All right. Here's Governor Walz yesterday.
The federal government needs to pay for what they broke here.
Yeah.
There are going to be accountability on the things that happened, but one of the things, the incredible and immense costs that were borne by the people of this state, the federal government needs to be responsible. You don't get to break things and just leave without doing something about it.
Yeah, exactly. So but again, we shall see because we're getting these reports on the ground. They don't trust them, the people in Minneapolis.
Nope.
All right. So, Cool Roy in Cleveland.
Cool
Hello.
Roy.
Yes. Hey, Cool Roy.
Hi.
Hi.
Long time caller, first time listener.
Okay.
I see what you did there. Okay, go ahead.
So, did anyone notice Pam Bondi's weird eyelashes? It looked like J.D. Vance did her eyeliner.
Men are getting cattier than us girls, aren't they, Bella?
I love it. It's the sassy
of all the
pandemic.
horrors, I did not notice the eyelashes.
I didn't notice her eyelashes either. Sorry.
Here's another one. Post, the news is reporting that ICE was done and leaving Minnesota, but what we saw today was an increase of agents and heavy presence all around. This is someone from Minneapolis. There were community members being taken from their cars on the roadways, ICE targeting bus stops, school zones, and suburb areas. They're still very active.
ICE is still there. They're just dressed as snowmen.
Okay.
So they blend in.
Okay. I got it.
What?
I got it. Okay. Medium Boy says an anti-vax heroin addict that eats roadkill and used to snort cocaine off toilet seats should not be in charge of public health. That should be obvious, yet here we are.
Yeah, I said, I'm not scared of a germ. You know, I used to snort cocaine off of toilet seats.
So nasty.
Kevin in D.C. Hello.
Gross. Yeah.
No grosser than his sex poems or his...
Stop. Wonderful images I'm going to carry the rest of the day. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
But I have to say, Pam, the scam, what I'm worried about is the aftermath. Okay, we're all upset about what she's done, but it's all of them. This time, and I understand past logic where we say, well, we're...
I didn't. You saw me. I didn't do nothing. I didn't touch nothing. Kevin hung up on himself. Kevin, call back. Can I just say that Clyde over there, Chris?
I know.
Is a perfect example. He's like Pete Hegseth of the Stephanie Miller Show. He's attacking his own dog bed.
Well, he's like Pete Hegseth, but he's not hairless.
Right. He's like attacking a party balloon instead of... I don't know what that bed did to make him mad, but man, he's going at that thing.
He's like a hairy Pete Hegseth. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, Nichols says, know what happens when you don't care to vote? A heroin addict with a brain worm who admits to snorting coke off a toilet seat gets appointed to the Secretary of Health and Human Services. Thanks.
And I said, I'm not scared of a germ.
Thanks, non-voters.
You know, I used to snort cocaine off of toilet seats.
Chris, can you Google the poems? Because I want to give Bella a going away gift before she goes on vacation next week. I want to read those sex poems to her again. She loves it.
No.
Something cold in your mouth while my river flows into your canyon.
I just think
Your open mouth awaiting my harvest.
Stop that part was
Drink
terrible.
from me, love. I want to squeeze your cheeks to force open your mouth.
Mm.
I'll hold your nose as you look up to me to encourage you to swallow.
Ew.
Don't spill a drop. I am a river. You are my canyon.
Okay, stop. I didn't...
You told me
I forgot
to
how
give
bad it
her
was. I forgot how bad it
a
was.
going away present.
It is, in fact, grosser than the toilet seat.
Bad.
Huh?
It's bad.
Okay. Okay.
I can't believe I found that so fast.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Oh, that's upsetting. Okay, I can't get enough of the party balloon story. I'm sorry. Stone Kettle says the military loaned Border Patrol a secret high-energy laser weapon, which CBP then used to shoot down what they claimed was a drug cartel drone, but were actually party balloons. And they did this next to a major civilian and military airport without coordination or clearance with air traffic control or the military, which resulted in total closure of civilian airspace because lasers can blind pilots and damage aircraft. These guys are total amateurs who put Americans at significant risk. You think?
Oh, I forgot one last line.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
I mean to subdue and tame you, my love.
Yeah, that's hot.
Stop it.
That's hot. Hot.
The harvest part is what really...
River Canyon. Okay. Sorry, some stuff's coming up. Let me... I need me some Keith Ellison yesterday.
It felt like our state was targeted, blanketed with paramilitaries everywhere who were approaching citizens, non-citizens, whoever. It felt like we were being occupied by the federal government. And I started returning, Senator, to reading about how the Boston Massacre, how did those Bostonians feel when a faraway government in England had imperial troops marching all over their city, harassing and abusing the citizenry? That's kind of how I felt.
Yeah. Dear God. And was this Ron Johnson? Yeah. He's such a tool. Yeah. This was him with Keith Ellison.
2 people are dead because you encouraged them to put themselves into harm's way.
It was Keith Ellison's fault.
And now you're exploiting those 2 martyrs. That was a tragedy. It never should have happened.
Right.
Sit there and smirk. Smirk. It's sick. It is despicable.
Are you asking me for comment, Senator? Because everything you said was untrue. It was a nice theatrical performance, but it was all lies.
Wow. Rand Paul, again, voice of reason. Haven't I always said that?
Sure, always.
I see nothing here. I mean, not even a hint of something that was aggressive on his part. Everything was retreat. He's over in the street. He retreats. The woman is pushed to the ground. He tries to assist the woman to get up. He's violently sprayed, and it just continues. And so I don't think this should take months and months and years and years. There needs to be a conclusion. You want to calm things down because the public needs to know too. You know, if I go to a protest and I shout something at people, could I be killed?
Wow, this is what passes for like a rogue Republican these days, is just stating the truth of what everyone saw on videotape all over the world.
Yeah.
Christopher,
Yes.
who said, hold please. Oh, I lost it. Okay. Who said, I don't sleep on planes. I don't like sleeping on planes. You know, I like looking out the window watching for missiles and enemies, actually.
Simone the Meerkat.
No, that was Trump. He says so many.
I'm sorry, what? He likes to count the missiles headed towards him?
I don't sleep on planes. I don't like to sleep on planes. I like looking out the window watching for missiles and enemies, actually.
Okay.
He's so weird. Oh my God.
An 8-year-old that is
Bless you.
somehow has the nuclear codes. Okay. Yes. Hold, please. Oh, sorry. I needed this one. Okay. Who said, Fire is suing AG Pam Bondi and DHS Secretary Kristi Noem for strong-arming Facebook and Apple to censor groups and apps reporting ICE activity using public information. The First Amendment protects the right to record and criticize what law enforcement does in public.
Pumbaa the Warthog.
No! It is that fire organization that is just one of the many. I love that I asked Glenn, is that legal? And he's like, no, no. But, right.
Who's going to stop him?
It's the Trump administration. Yeah. Nothing they're doing is legal. Okay. Matthew summing things up for us. Let's see. We've got a guy who snorts cocaine off toilets. He's in charge of our health. We've got a guy who doesn't believe in climate change in charge of our environment. We've got a drunk television host in charge of our entire military. We've got a woman who was a foreign agent for Qatar in charge of our justice system. We've got a woman who was a likely Russian asset in charge of our national security. Oh, yeah, and we've got a president in the Epstein files 1 million times. Isn't there a lot to just, wrap your brain around every morning?
This is why we drink.
This is why we tell fart jokes. Might you cue up my Yankee Doodle? JB, this is a super fun fact made for our show.
Okay.
The average person lets one go 32 times a day compared to the 14 that doctors once considered normal. Wait, 14 is average? Y'all are nasty. I eat a lot of vegetables, so I'm going to say I'm way above average. I am really skewing the average.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, it's because he's given all of us a rumbly tumbly, Bella.
Well,
the entire Trump timeline has given all of us gas.
Anxious gas.
The average person passes gas between 5 and 25 times a day.
That makes more sense.
That's a really wide.
I'm pulling the average way up, and I apologize. I do not go in here, America. I apologize. A lot of broccoli,
14
a lot
to
of
15
Brussels
times.
sprouts, a lot of cabbage. I eat a lot of kale.
14 to 15 times a day is considered normal and healthy.
Oh.
I gotta go see a doctor.
Hi,
Richard. Hi. Did I interrupt you? Hi. Richard in Fort Myers. Hello.
Hi, Stephanie. I have a question from the 2024 elections. There was a Republican county. I don't know if it was like in Oklahoma or Nebraska or whatever, Arkansas. But anyhow, normally it would be 2/3 of a vote for Republicans and about 1/3 for Democrats. But somebody trying to help Trump along changed every vote to Republican. And it was a big story at the time. Because, they were, when they were doing the vote counts for all the states, they come up with it and they're going, this is impossible. It couldn't happen. And it just died on the vine. That was the last we ever heard of it.
You know what? I don't know what to say anymore. Chris, does this happen to you? Literally every day someone asks me, how do we make sure the elections are fair? And I'm like, well, all I know is that at least a lot of prominent Democrats are talking about it or putting a spotlight on it.
And the way our system was designed, where all of our elections are by state or by county, that helps to shield us from shenanigans.
You hear
federally.
some of these stories.
Right.
I mean, there's I don't know whatever happened with Rockland County, where Kamala Harris apparently got 0 votes. I mean, it's just, of course, there were statistical anomalies that I have to hope people higher up than everyone's higher up than we are. We work in a basement, but you know what I mean.
But because the system was designed to contain those shenanigans to Rockland County, if there are any, it minimizes the shenanigans that can be pulled.
I feel like shenanigans is maybe not serious
Well,
enough
I
a
mean,
word.
what do you want me to say? BS? Bullshit?
Well, I just want to update everyone that Clyde has made peace now with his dog bed and is sleeping in it. Okay.
Well, not really, because his head is outside of it.
He's always like that. It's comfier that way.
He's always drunk. Okay, 21 minutes after the hour. This portion of the...
By the way, you can say anything to the F me.
Yes, that's right.
Thank
so
you.
you can say twat waffle.
Oh, okay, thank you. All right. Carl.
Great with chicken.
There are no words for what we watched yesterday. I mean, and particularly in the light of how serious what we're talking about is. Systemic child rape over like how many years and decades. And it's just the fact that she's smirking and laughing and, using her burn book. Go ahead. Your thoughts.
This is why she's in this job.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. It's for two reasons. One, to protect Donald Trump at any cost and ensure that the Department of Justice is not independent. And number two, to pursue his enemies, again, at any cost. There's a weaponization of government task force in the Department of Justice now. And it has been clear for the entirety of this administration that it is not about rooting out weaponization.
Yeah.
It is about using the power of the federal government to go after Trump's enemies.
Yeah.
Or the people he perceives to be disloyal or not aligned politically.
And I don't know, I forget who was the woman representative, but, talked about her. Obviously, Trump ordered her, prosecute left-wing groups or whatever. And she said when the vast majority, even Republican FBI directors have said is far right violence, they're not looking at any of that. Obviously, she's being told to target specifically. Does anyone still know where Antifa headquarters is? I don't know.
Isn't it on La Brea?
You'd think I'd know.
It's on La Brea, yeah.
Oh, is it on? I thought it was in Culver City. That's why. I mean, people online. Alan says Pam Bondi didn't only expose herself by committing perjury; she also exposed FBI Director Kash Patel for doing the same thing. I mean, I just want to live in a world where perjury matters anymore, Carl. Right?
What's absolutely nutty here? Yes, perjury still matters. And number two, there was a time when Pam Bondi had a bunch of right-wing influencers over to the DOJ and gave them fake binders to pretend like they had all the Epstein documents, and then those people paraded them across social media.
Yeah.
And we're all supposed to just ignore that happened.
Right.
And that
They're the
this
ones that
administration is not one gimmick after another.
Ironically, they're all the ones that said all the things Democrats were saying yesterday in the hearings. They're the ones. Kash Patel, Pam Bondi, all these right-wingers. Forever. I mean, here's, by the way, Ted Lieu on the perjury part.
I believe you just lied under oath. There is ample evidence in the Epstein file.
Don't you ever accuse me of a crime.
I believe you just lied under oath, and this is all on videotape. You said there's no evidence of crime. I'm showing you. Here is a witness statement who called into the FBI's Threat Operations Center. He drove Donald Trump around in a limo. He overheard what Donald Trump said to Jeffrey on his cell phone. He was so angry, he was going to stop a limo and hurt Donald Trump. And he met a girl who said she was raped by Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. She later had her head blown off, and officers at the scene said that could not have been suicide. No one at the Department of Justice interviewed this witness.
Carl, I know we overuse the I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Donald Trump is not only mentioned a million times, he is very specifically accused in sworn testimony of being a perpetrator.
Over and over again.
Of rape and worse. Interesting, we've been talking about the Ghislaine Maxwell saying, I can clear Trump and Clinton. Clinton is not mentioned at all. So she probably can clear Clinton because he's probably innocent based on what we know so far. No woman has accused him of wrongdoing. He's the one saying, release all the files, right? I'll come testify.
she can clear Trump for, there's just a small fee for clearing him, and that is pardoning her, letting her out of jail. And then she's also got a great deal on a Persian rug.
But it's an evil version of both sides do it, isn't it? It's like, oh, well, yeah, I can get, because both sides do it. I'll clear Clinton and Trump. Well, if one's innocent and one's completely, unbelievably guilty, that's not again, both sides don't do it.
Well, the Clintons are going to testify, so we'll see about Donald Trump.
I mean, we'll see what happens here. Babs said, I just hung up from calling both my House and Senate reps. I demanded they impeach Pam Bondi if she doesn't resign immediately. We don't even allow 6-year-olds to behave like this. It was disgraceful. I mean, I think of you there on the school board. I'm like, seriously, how long would a kid get detention for that?
Stephanie Miller.
You've seen the difference, and it's getting better all the time. I'll stop the world.
Yeah.
Stephanie Miller.
Let's do it. This is why you should never miss a minute of the Stephanie Miller Show. Because Malcolm Nance said this on Wednesday. Someone posted the fact that France and Ukraine fed the U.S. false intelligence to test whether Trump and his administration would pass it to Russia, and they did. Should be a massive story. The media's silence proves it's just as untrustworthy as Trump itself. I know it's a lot, but it really is astounding. The stuff that just doesn't get covered. Mike says in 2023, under Joe Biden, the economy added 3 million jobs. In 2024, still under Biden, it added 2.2 million jobs. In 2025, under Trump, it added just 181,000 jobs. Oy, oy, oy. Karen in Chicago. Hi, Karen.
Hey, good morning. I just feel like this administration, all of the criminally corrupt people in it, they're doing our work for us. All we have to do is put them on full display and let them run their mouths. Because here's the thing, Robin, my love goes to Robin, our friends Jen and Lori Kish up in Minnesota and all of the Steph heads up in Minnesota. Because no, they're not going away. I'm not falling for it. None of us are falling for it. We have got to stay vigilant, and they are starting to understand, I think, that it is because of the resistance that they are not able to do what they want to do. They will not get away with this. We are going to hold them accountable. And as long as we stay in the fight and educate people and get them out in the midterms, we are going to beat them.
Yep. I mean, the Stonewall flag, by the way, has been raised again. We are not going down without a fight. None of us. Steve said, everything he breaks, we will fix. Everything he names, we will rename. Everything he plunders will be reclaimed or turned to dust in his tiny hands. And if everyone who enabled him will live in shame, his insane, lawless, corrupt, destructive time in office will be a lesson. I gotta believe it. You know what I'll ask? The ecclesiastical moot. John Fugelsang next.
Some names got released that shouldn't have. That is wrong. She talked about that yesterday, but it's a very small number. But that was driven by this just push from all the Democrats to get all this information out yesterday.
Oh, we rushed Pam Bondi and made her nervous. Oh,
That's why some names weren't.
I see. Yeah.
Okay.
Rushed her to obey the law. Okay, got it. Yeah, thanks, Jim Jordan. Thanks.
Jubals ain't just alright with me. Jubals ain't just alright. Oh yeah. Jubals ain't just alright with me. Jubals ain't just alright.
That was like a strobe light, whatever you were just doing with your hands. Hi, John Fugelsang.
Oh, that's not the first time you've said those words to me. Hi, how are you, ladies? Hello, gentlemen.
Wow. I'm normally just blinded by your beauty, but that was wow.
Oh, stop
Interpretive
it. Good morning,
dance.
everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning. How about that Pam Bondi, huh?
I can't wait for Pam Bondi to be disbarred and sent to jail for the rest of her life so I can tell her how great the stock market's doing.
That's right.
I can't
That's
wait.
right. By the way, so we were saying, man, they're losing MAGA. Prominent MAGA voices called for Pam Bondi's head. So, Kyle Rittenhouse. I was wondering what he thought. He said Pam Bondi needs to resign. Conservative radio host Eric Erickson said Bondi should quit or be fired. He said when the Attorney General is asked why she's prosecuted no one related to Jeffrey Epstein, this is her answer about the Dow. She should be fired or resign. Tim Pool, prominent pro-Trump commentator.
Oh, wow. All the elites.
Also,
what a summit.
Nick Fuentes, I always want to know what the Nazis think.
Always.
He demanded that she be impeached. Pam Bondi needs to be impeached. You lied about the existence of the files. You lied about unindicted collaborators and accomplices. John, it does feel like there's some weird aligning of the universe.
It's going to, listen, it's starting, but it's going to be very slow and it's going to last a long time. I mean, Kyle Rittenhouse, he thinks Pam Bondi's getting away with murder over here. The thing is that this is what we predicted all along. The reason why Donald Trump hires completely unqualified flunkies is for this very reason. That's why he hires Kash Patels or Kristi Noems or Pete Hegseths, because they are morons and twits. An adult will say, Mr. Trump, that's illegal. You can't do that. But a dope like Pam Bondi, who he already knows. I mean, he only hired Pam Bondi because he couldn't get the child rapist he wanted, Matt Gaetz, to be America's star. Let's never forget, he wanted a different child rapist to be our top cop.
Yes,
but he hires these incompetent boobs because he knows that they'll take the fall in the end. As soon as it gets inconvenient for Trump, then Pam Bondi, Pete Hegseth, Kash Patel, then they'll go. But they are there for one reason, to be fall guys, and they're too dumb to know it.
Who was the one this morning? I can't remember. That was implicated. You read something disgusting to me. Now I've forgotten already.
I can't remember. That was last hour.
Narrow the field a little bit. One of them did something disgusting, really?
This one is the New York Giants guy. What's his Steve Tisch, Hollywood producer, New York Giants. Yes, he detailed how Jeffrey Epstein's relationship with him was solely about connecting the owner with women in Epstein's orbit. So surprising. Epstein plucked women from his orbit and delivered them to Tisch. They met in 2013, 5 years after Epstein was convicted. According to an email sent to Epstein, Tisch was blown away by you in a positive way. Thinks you're wonderful and interesting.
It's only going to get better. I mean, this is not going away. And Donald Trump's name is not going to vanish. And wait till foreign entities start publishing all the names and all the unredacted names as well. This is going to drive the campaign, and the Democrats have got to start promising independent special counsel. I want to hear a Democrat promise they're going to take scanners down there to that island to find bodies buried under the ground. I want them to fundraise off of this.
But to your point about MAGA, we were just talking about MAGA turning on Pam Bondi. I'm hearing a lot of this sort of anecdotally. I don't know if you are, but Jack Hopkins posted, I was born and raised in rural Trump country. I'm telling you, I continue to see hardcore lifelong Republicans saying Donald Trump. They do not fit into the but they'll still vote Republican category. The level of anger they're feeling will not find them voting for Trump or a Trump-endorsed candidate. Not going to happen. I know these people. I grew up with them. This is different. I mean,
I'm sorry. This is
it's
the
not just
exact thing
polling, right? We're seeing it.
But it's the exact thing we saw 18 years ago. They hated us. They hated us, Stephanie, for questioning Bush and Cheney in the Iraq War. The media's forgotten, but you remember the before times, right? They were so blindly, bloodthirstily loyal to George Bush and Dick Cheney. You find one Republican now who'll defend Bush and Dick Cheney. They are as fickle as Donald Trump is fickle. And in 10 years, I swear to God, they're going to deny they ever voted for him after 2016.
I've always loved your line. America's an old couch and Trump is a black light. 20 simple questions for MAGA friends who still deny Trump's 20 plus years of public racism.
That's my Substack. I actually listed 20 questions about his decades of racism for you to share with your friends who still defend him.
Yeah, no, it's great. Go use it as a primer, won't you? Where was Barack Obama born, please? Why was Trump fired from The Apprentice? Who are the Central Park Five? Right? I mean, it goes on and on.
It's a helpful guide, yes. But I mean, I thought it was amazing this week for Pam Bondi to think that the stock market being up would be comforting to the rape victim sitting directly behind her while she, all the trauma counselors say NASDAQ doing well is really what heals people.
Sure.
And here's the greatest tell about this. That moment when Pam Bondi brought up the stock market, so who cares about the child rape? That told us everything. Yeah. Because the stock market she'd rather talk about, that matters to the predators. That matters to the accused men whose name she's protecting. The stock market does not matter to the victim she couldn't face behind her. And that was the entire tell. It was authoritarian certainty.
Someone made a really good point that it really is disturbing. They said, one of the parts of this story is imagine pedophiles around the world watching this. I mean, this is what enables and empowers people to think they can get away with it, which is why I guess they victimize children in the first place. Right?
Yeah, but only the elite pedophiles. You know how hard it is to break into the elite pedophile class, Steffi? Most pedophiles, they have a hard time ever getting any kind of protection from anyone. You've got to bring in $20 billion. Look at Elon. I'm not even kidding. Elon Musk has posted about race almost every day for the last month. He is reposting white supremacist garbage every day or every other day, but because he can raise $20 billion really quick, the tech world doesn't care. Silicon Valley will overlook the racism. And believe me, there's a lot of rich guys will overlook a lot of rich guy child rape if you have enough zeros in your bank account. So it's completely just... But again, we're alive at the first time this is happening. This is happening because of the altar boys who came forward, the Me Too women who came forward, the military sexual survivors who came forward are the only reason we're having this dialogue right now. Because holding men accountable for sexual abuse is historically an extremely recent development. Yeah. And this is the first time the human race is doing this on this scale. And it's amazing to be alive for it.
Yeah. Speaking of the racism, by the way, none of this should surprise us. So Trump was confronted about the Obama ape video. And Mr. President, have you fired or disciplined that staffer who posted the video from your account that included the Obamas? No, I haven't. I mean, the fact that someone even asked that question as if that could even possibly be true, that a staffer did it, is why we are where we are.
He said only he and Scavino have access to that account. They know it.
No, I haven't. That was a video, as you know, on voter fraud, a fairly long video, and they had a little piece that had to do with the Lion King. Okay, again, no effing gorillas in the Lion King.
And the only piece he posted with the Obamas as gorillas, not the entire video.
And he said it's been very well, it's been shown all over the place long before that was posted, but that was a very strong, I'm sure you saw it was a very strong piece on voter fraud. The piece you're talking about was all over the place many times, I believe, for years. Mr. President, were you aware the Secretary of Commerce visited Epstein Island? No, I wasn't aware of it. No, I didn't. I actually haven't spoken to him about it. But, from what I hear, he was there with his wife and children. I guess in some cases, some people were there. I was never there.
Yeah. Where do you want to begin with that?
Okay, go ahead. Just go.
Well, first off, I think I would love to see Donald Trump share a cell with Howard Lutnick for the rest of his life. I think that actually, I could live with that. But did you love the Lutnick story this week? Like lunch on Epstein's Island, 7 years after he's a convicted child sex offender, you bring your wife, kids, and nannies. Yeah. That happens all the time, right, Steffi? Hey, kids, put your phone away. We're going to pedophile Nirvana for sandwiches, right? Happens all the time with your wife and kids. I mean, and again, you don't accidentally vacation with a convicted child sex trafficker. Yes. And Van Hollen, to his credit, asked whether the nanny on the boat was the same nanny Epstein had expressed interest in meeting. Yes. And Lutnick's like, I don't know, never crossed my mind. Which is pretty crazy, Steph, because for most parents, Is this convicted child sex offender interested in my kids or their caregiver? That's one of my top 3 questions. We're like right after, like, where's the bathroom? Do you have sunscreen? Are you after my child or the babysitter? It usually comes up for me. Why does Howard Lutnick still have a job?
Yeah.
Because he's useful to Trump. The more hateful he is, until he becomes embarrassing for Trump, he is safe in his job.
You wrote yet another great piece, Fake Christians, Fake Patriots, and Fake Halftime Shows, Turning Point USA.
Yes.
As readers of the New Testament will notice, a profoundly fake Christian organization which waves around Jesus' name while consistently opposing, smearing, and lobbying against his actual teachings.
Yeah.
So
that's for you, Charlie.
You said because the NFL dared to book Bad Bunny, a U.S. citizen, this year's Grammy winner for Album of the Year, one of the most popular artists at present on Earth, who happens to be Puerto Rican, which is to say he is American. People, they're still not over it, having to watch 8 minutes of Hispanic people being happy, right?
Do you know Megyn Kelly goes to see West Side Story and then angrily in protest goes to the ladies' room every time Puerto Rican characters get a song. That's how committed she is. Did you know that? And they're Christians, Steffi. They're Christians, and that's why they wanted Kid Rock, because he is the only American halftime show performer who's also in a sex tape with a lead singer from Creed. That means a lot to Christians, you know.
I actually blame West Side Story for the reason that people think that Puerto Rico is not part of America technically because of that damn song.
Yeah.
Where they sing about wanting to be in America.
Oh, a boy like that. Yeah, we'll kill your brother.
Well,
yeah.
Okay, so Stephen Sondheim's who I should have been mad about all this time.
Yeah. That's my point.
This is a beautiful. This is for people who don't think Puerto Rico's American, but the Confederate flag is. Yes, Bella. Sorry, go ahead.
Hey, the good news, John, is since we found out that you and I are in the Epstein files, along with the rest of the sexy liberals from the Beacon Theater show, we could get a job in the Trump administration, couldn't we?
No, I'm afraid not. Our names aren't redacted. Only people who rape children get to have their names blacked out and work for Donald Trump. It's a whole system, Steffi. You have to earn it.
I understand. Yeah. Listen, there is good news. Let's talk about it again. Sean says the pride flag is flying again at the Stonewall National Monument. Love is winning. MAGA won't erase our history or take away our rights. As someone said, we're going to undo everything he did. Mm-hmm. You know, the people of Minneapolis are heroes. They stood up. Let's hope ICE actually does get out. Again, as Governor Walz said, trust and verify. But man, in election results, in ruling, in judges, even Trump judge rulings, John.
That's right.
We're winning, you know?
That's right. Yeah. Oh, listen, the fascists always lose. I mean, show me one time in history an extreme conservative religious authoritarian government were the good guys. Show me one extreme conservative religious authoritarian government in all religions in all of history that are now considered to be the good guys. These guys are failing. They're failing all over the place, and we have to remember they're going to hurt a lot of people on the way down. They still have a lot of power. There's 3 years till a presidential election. But stop and smell the train wreck. God bless the people in Minnesota. And you know who else? God bless those people on the grand jury who laughed Jeanine Pirro out of the room and Pete Hegseth trying to indict Mark Kelly and the other 5 Democratic veterans for their video. This is ordinary citizens that are saving us. We can complain about Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer all day if you want to do that. Yeah. But it's never been the politicians who save us. It's never worked that way. The politicians catch up with the people, and it's going to be us, including the conservative brothers and sisters who realize they've been hoodwinked. Yep. I know. We can't answer their waking up with smug liberal I told you so's. We got to make the tent bigger and smite these people because they're already done with Trump. He can't save.
If
Trump
anyone
can only hurt them in the midterms now.
And anyone can pitch a bigger tent. It's you.
Oh my God.
Oh well, when I'm around you, baby girl, that happens all the time.
Can I have my joke bomb? Let's end with this. Trump's approval rating, the latest AP poll, dropping to just 36% among overwhelmingly unpopular deportation operations. His polling on the economy has cratered over the past year. His overall approval ratings have followed suit. 39% new NBC poll, 37% in the Economist YouGov poll. According to the pollster, immigration enforcement has taken a steep drop since last spring. So, that's the stuff that's got to keep us, realizing, again, that we're not the ones taking the crazy pills, right?
And everyone in this cabinet, especially Pam Bondi, needs to learn the lesson. They're not going to learn it in time, but temporary power is never worth permanent disgrace. And speaking of musicals, just remember, guys, The Sound of Music, that's a story about artists and the military and clergy working together to resist Nazis. Okay, it's more timely than ever.
There you go. Yep. All right, we love you, John Fugel, saying our Sirius XM Progress brother.
Yes.
Never miss a show. I love you, honey.
Take care, guys. Happy President's Day.
Yeah, you too.
All right, 48 minutes after the hour, this Andrew Sneed joins us again. Good morning, Andrew.
Good morning, Stephanie. Yeah, good morning. Good morning.
Boy, are we in need of some good news. And here's another one. Democrats' House campaign arm is expanding its midterm map to include 5 more districts that Trump won in 2024 as the party grows more bullish about flipping the chamber. You've seen deep red Louisiana. We just want to see deep red Texas. So talk to us about where you're at, because you've just outraised your opponent. That's a big deal in Alabama, right?
It's a big deal, but dollars don't vote. Dollars don't vote.
Yeah.
So we've got plenty of work to do, but I hope that it wakes people up to realizing that unequivocally we can win this race. It's not a maybe, we can. I mean, what is it, a 32-point swing in Texas? We can do half of that, and we'll clean the greens with this guy. So it's absolutely in play. North Alabama they better add that to the map too.
Yeah, well, you're 100% of your funds originated from individual donors, not PACs. So talk about that. You said this campaign is being built by people who want a representative that answers to them, not to corporate PACs or special interests in D.C. Outraising an incumbent through individual donations shows the power of the people of this district. Tells me folks across the district are ready for a different kind of leadership. We were joking last time that you're our Joe the plumber.
Yeah.
You're a real guy.
Yeah, I'm a real guy. I haven't worked on repiping a house since Friday. So,
so you're taking a break.
All the way since last week, and I was on a plumbing job this morning at 7 a.m. Central Time. So here we are. I'm glad to be with you and not there.
Well, I'm reading the thing about your campaign. I thought this has been our theme all morning, right, Chris? You've been you launched your campaign focusing on restoring trust in government. We were just saying nobody trusts the government anymore than anything. The Epstein files, why the airspace is closed over El Paso, you name it, right?
Don't believe your lying eyes.
Yeah.
But you know who is less popular than President Trump and a lot of other folks? Democratic leadership in Congress. Huh? According to Gallup, I just checked this morning, the most recent poll is that Congress sits at an 18% approval.
Yeah.
18%. So a lot of this trust in government is show me why. Because it's funny. Like I was at a plumbing site this morning and people will look me in the eye and say, well, you'll get to DC and change. Like, well, why? Why would I? But all politicians are the same. So I think that we as Democrats, yes, affordability. Yes, healthcare. Yes, housing, kitchen table issues that are crushing small business owners and people in districts like mine. But why can you trust me to fix it? And so I've started this coalition of candidates. This started here in my head, Stephanie, almost a year ago, before I even decided to run. But like all master plumbers, I have an acting degree from Boston University.
Yeah. I have an equally useless theater degree from USC.
That's right.
It qualifies me to do nothing but work in my basement.
But you know what, Stephanie? In Shakespeare, the clowns are the truth tellers.
Yeah.
So, throughout history, if you want to hear the truth, listen to the artists.
Yeah.
So I think that Democrats need to address this critical problem also. Acknowledge that things are critically broken. Don't blame it on someone else. Take our own share of the responsibility and say, what are we going to do to fix it? Why can't you trust us again?
Let me just name drop. I met Andrew at Uzo Aduba's house. I'm there all the time. No, who's your good friend who you went to college with, who had the fundraiser for you, where I got to meet you. But, you used a phrase then, and I think also in your stuff here that I think is so important. You said, you will always meet people where they are. And I think that's what we have to do. I mean, you describe yourself as son, little brother, devoted father of 3 amazing girls, master plumber and gas fitter, founder and operator of a local small business, born and raised, of course, in Huntsville, Alabama. You are the people we're trying to get to our side, right? Go ahead.
But it's not just me. I mean, I started this coalition for folks like me. Around the country, and I'm a proud Democrat. I love our party and what we've accomplished, But we also have a tendency to pick winners, and they'll focus in on between 38 and 43, 44 races, and they're going to dump hundreds of millions of dollars into those races. But folks like me are fighting to expand the map. So we built this coalition of what we call balance, as in balance of power.
Stephanie Miller.
Yeah.
Stephanie Miller.
Oh. It is the Stephanie Miller Show. Nichols says, we're either going to die from previously eradicated diseases or greenhouse gas emissions / climate disasters. Thanks, MAGA, you degenerate morons. There's only so many horrors to cover. President Obama has been talking about the climate stuff and the EPA. It's just that there's so much. I don't even know what to call it anymore, Chris. We're going to have a climate expert on next week who's also running for lieutenant governor of California. We have Rude Pundit and JoJo from Jurors on Monday.
That's right.
We're hanging in there, right? Yeah. Melly in Tallahassee. Hi, Melly.
Yes, we know.
Hi.
We're hanging in there.
That's
right.
I
believe.
Yep. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I believe, yes. Well, I could go on. I'm in Florida. I could go on all day about Pam Blondie. But,
yeah. You know a little something about her.
Yes.
Oh, God. I'm from Tampa originally.
Oh, no.
And, yeah, her atrocities go way, way back. She's been covering up for Donovan forever.
She was AG when Epstein was doing all this stuff. So, yeah, she's been in this filth for a long time.
Yes. And even before then, when he was,
Yeah.
Gosh, but this thing about Secretary Kennedy and his little infatuation with drug paraphernalia.
Yes, snorting coke off.
About that stuff. Now, at least now we know where he got that.
The brainworm, yes.
Brainworm,
likely. Hard to say where he got the brainworm. You know what? Because we didn't really think he was weird enough yet, did we? We're like,
well, you considered going out with him.
Speaking of, I did not consider any such thing. Oh my God, he's such a liar.
An invitation is not the same as a
Yeah,
consideration.
thank you. An invitation to Falcon. Considered. Okay.
Your dad played poker with Herman Goering.
He did not play poker. He interrogated him. Okay. Representative, speaking of Florida.
Oh, there's a difference?
Speaking of considered going out. Representative Neil, all the awful things you've said about me.
Oh, that's the one.
Representative Neil Dunn, Republican of Florida, planning to announce early retirement next week, and actually could drag the House Republican majority out the door with him. Bye-bye. See ya, losers. He announced last month after much prayerful consideration and discussion with my family.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's one of those spending more time with the family.
Sure.
I'm telling you, we could get the majority back before the midterms, and I am here for it.
Okay.
Don in Denver, City by the Bay. Hi, Don.
Good morning, beautiful people. How's it going?
Good. Go ahead.
Hey, you know what, guys? This is the moral shame of this country, is that when Pam Bondi doesn't acknowledge the Epstein survivors, Ghislaine Maxwell gets special privileges, but we're going after those who are the weakest and the most vulnerable by the fact that she didn't acknowledge the Epstein survivors, and then we're going arresting and detaining 5-year-olds who the father and his little boy that were detained, and we use 5-year-olds to lure other immigrants to be detained. Yeah. That should be the moral shame of this country, and I think the rest of the world is watching this and what's going on, while we continue to protect the most powerful and the most vulgar, evil people like these millionaires like Trump, Ludwig, and his like, but we will want to silence the ones who are the most weakest and the most vulnerable people. That's what's wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Sorry, honey. Running into a heartbreak. Allison Gill.
Yeah.
From every podcast ever recorded.
Yeah.
Mahler, She Wrote, Daily Beans, on and on. Media mogul Allison McGill joins us next.
Hi, guys. You're probably wondering, where the hell is Bella? She's not on our screen. So I am still quite under the weather. You probably weren't able to tell because I am such a fabulous actress. But on the Stephanie Miller show this morning, every time we went to break, I literally died. I slumped over, had to put my head down. I was so exhausted this morning. I am so tired. You could probably hear it in my voice. I'm still sick. So for the sake of that, we're gonna try a new format today. So this is an idea that I've had for a while, and I actually was planning on compiling more findings from my internet rabbit holes, deep dives, and making a longer form video about it. However, I figured I've compiled enough stuff to make a short little taste for you guys today. So I've always been very active online. I grew up playing video games. I grew up using Reddit, things of that nature. So this wasn't really new to me. I figured why not take you guys down some of these rabbit holes and in some of these internet forums that you might not be exposed to. That being said, I am not encouraging anyone to go on Reddit specifically for political conversation. In fact, I would probably advise against it just because a lot of it is pretty terrible and it's really not great for mental. I feel like I'm just kind of trained and used to this stuff. So for the average person, I just wouldn't exactly recommend it. Reddit is a really interesting place. Growing up, I would use Reddit mainly for movie conversations and music conversations. I didn't even dare go to some of the other stuff, but it's out there, it's here. So why don't we take a deep dive together and see what's there? Something I want to know is that I did want to do a call out on some of these forums to actually talk to some of the people posting on here. However, the way Reddit works is a little bit confusing, but I basically haven't engaged enough with other communities. I just, even though I've had this account for a while, it's confusing. I just don't have enough Reddit karma. That's what it's called. But without further ado, let's get into it. First of all, I just wanted to point out that r/Republican as well as r/conservative, they both have Charlie Kirk as their profile photos for the community, for the forum. And I just think it's really interesting that some of the most homophobic men you will ever meet in your life are really, really obsessed with this man. Yeah, I'm just going to let that one marinate for a second. One of the big forum questions I've seen is people asking each other why they adopted conservative ideologies or Republican ideologies. And honestly, a lot of the responses I saw revolved around people being like, well, because Democrats are racist and sexist. And I don't really want to highlight those because we all know that's complete bullshit. But this one really, it gave me a good chuckle. So this one user said, I finally allowed myself to explore the common sense questions and confusions I always had about liberal beliefs. Like, obviously, there aren't more than two genders. I also noticed that all of their arguments focus around feelings, which aren't objective. And you're a bad person if you think that way. The right sides with the truth. Original poster responded, are you an older Gen Z as well? Someone else said, I'm curious how old you were and what area did you live in? Did you also come from a liberal family? What caused the change? And the person who initially responded said, I'm 19. My family is pretty liberal and my high school is too. After high school, my fiance and I helped each other embrace conservatism and dove really deep into our Christian faith. Once you decide to devote your life to Jesus, there's absolutely no way you can be a liberal. The morals don't align. First of all, 19. Second of all, fiance. Third of all, Christian. I rest my case. This was an interesting post that I actually found from a conservative user saying, why are so many conservatives dying on a hill defending the Confederate flag? You can pause and read the whole thing if you want. It's a bit long, but essentially this user is agreeing that it's a symbol of racism. It's anti-American to be flying it. And I just thought it was really interesting because there are some self-aware conservatives and self-aware Republicans on here. This post was specifically from Gen Z conservatives, so that makes a little bit of sense to me, but, at least they're acknowledging it, I guess. That's some improvement. Now, this was a really interesting one as well. So this was back to r/Republicans, I believe, but it was a conversation about the recent video that Trump posted depicting the Obamas as apes. You know, the most racist thing he's done in, I was going to say of all time, but it's really not. It's the most racist thing he's done in maybe the past week. And this user said, I have been reduced many times to the simple admission that I voted for this man because of his policies and not his personality. Crazy statement. I can't wait until Vance takes over. Oh my God. And then this other conservative responded and said, Vance can't win. It will be Don Jr. or a Dem. Yeah. All right. Just thought it was really funny. Can't wait until Vance takes over. And this other person responded, MAGA man, and said, yeah, this is unacceptable. I do love watching the Dems freak out about it, though. Which is really funny to me because it has negative 43 downvotes, people disagreeing with him. So that was really funny that this was actually, a guy that agreed that it was completely unacceptable and it was racist and people were disagreeing with him. So that's really awesome. Just when I thought that some of them were being self-aware, I was reminded how racist most of them are, especially on Reddit. Now, this was interesting. So I then eventually went to r/Ask Conservatives, and this post says, why is it so hard to believe people are angry and they protest because they want to? Why does it have to be paid? And, again, you can pause and read the whole thing if you want to, but you get the point. This person is asking why Republicans and conservatives think that protesters are paid. And I thought that was a really interesting point. I was curious to see the responses. Obviously, you can see this caused a lot of conversation in the forum. And this person responded and said, it's a cope or a talking point by right-wing media. I'd assert that most conservatives IRL don't actually think that. And I was actually shocked that a lot of the comments on that post agreed with this user, saying that they actually don't believe that. Obviously, there are some cuckoos out there who do think that there are paid protesters. The majority of protesters are paid. But yeah, I just thought that was really interesting that, again, some of them are self-aware. So at least this was a little bit reassuring to see. Someone else said these people believe that their side is correct with absolute conviction, that they can't comprehend why anyone would be against it unless they were paid unless they were paid a large sum of money. So again, some self-aware people thought that was kind of interesting. And this is where things got a little bit juicy. This person was asking if conservatives and Republicans believe that Trump purposely redacted the Epstein files release. And I was really scared to open the comments for this one, but I was actually kind of surprised because this religious tradition...
detail is, there are 535 members of Congress. Do you know how many computers the Department of Justice set up to let them look through the 3 million pages of Trump Epstein files? Trademark. 4. There are 4 computers for all of them to share. I called the Burbank Library today. They have 22 computers. The Trump Epstein files has 4, okay? Pam Bondi has spent more time investigating the people who are reading the Epstein files than the people who are in the the Trump Epstein files.
Good point.
I'm telling you, doing better journalism than the whole mainstream media combined. As is this mogul.
Look
this
who's
lady.
here.
What? It's Allison Gill from Mother, She Wrote and just general hottie boomalati. Allison Gill stars in every podcast ever created. Jack, Daily Beans, Clean Up on Aisle 45, Mueller, She Wrote. I don't know. She's an industry. She's not just a woman. She's a myth. She's a legend. She's an industry. Why she's Allison Gill, bitches, and you're not. Allison Gill, you're as white as Kismet. You are here today because we keep talking now about magically full circle. Everything that's in the Mueller report, the Russian ties, are now in the, connected to Epstein. Talk about that a little bit. You must just be like, oh my God, it's all one story, like I say every day.
Yeah, I still to this day get trolls on the internet saying, I can't believe her name is still Mueller, She Wrote. Is she an idiot?
Oh, God.
Have you sat down at one of the 4 DOJ computers and read the Epstein files? Because
yeah,
all roads lead to Putin. And
Yeah, and Allison, we also were talking, Malcolm Nance mentioned Wednesday, and once again, to our point about the mainstream media, the fact that, they fed false information just to see if it would go to Russia, and it did, is not a bigger story. I mean, okay, go, just your thoughts, just that.
I'm just excited other countries are investigating this.
Yes.
Since our Department of Justice seems to be hell-bent on protecting the pedophiles in the Epstein files, and Pam Bondi seems intent on spying on Democratic lawmakers to get their from those 4 computers.
I mean,
meanwhile, being all up in arms about their toll records being subpoenaed legally by Jack Smith on January 6th. So.
Yeah. But I mean, I hadn't heard anyone else, had you in the media, say it the way Jimmy Kimmel said it, that they're spending more time investigating the people reading the Epstein files than the people in the Epstein files. I mean, it's really kind of astounding. I keep wondering, Allison, are people reading the same stuff I'm reading that has come out already, and this is still only half of it?
Yeah, and I think one of my the more interesting things that happened, I think last night, is when Rep Ilhan Omar said in Somalia we execute pedophiles. The RNC said she's calling for the execution of Trump. Like, she said pedophiles. You said Trump.
That's like Tulsi Gabbard when Hillary Clinton said Russian asset, and Tulsi Gabbard's like, I'm not. What? I'm not. And you're like, wait, she didn't say you.
Or the guy in the Ford factory, like pedophile, and Trump's like, hey,
screw you. Yeah. Yes. How about you? I don't turn around when someone yells pedophile, but okay.
Yeah. Now, of course, Donald Trump specifically called for the execution of multiple people on Twitter. So I'm sure that's okay. But
including Mark Kelly and the other Democrats who I just love you on Twitter when you said judge rejects Hegseth's bench to punish Senator Kelly, and you just wrote ha 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 ha.
How many times does he have to lose to Senator Kelly? I mean, he's just First of all, I think one of the main reasons he went after him the hardest is not just because he's a military retiree, so that puts him in a little more precarious position, but because he outranks him.
Yeah. Can I just say, I saved a bunch because I know you are a former military. I know it's a lot to wrap our heads around every day, but this one, Ben says, in a stunning shift announced today, NATO stripped the United States of command of all 3 of its operational level joint voice commands. The 4-star headquarters responsible for leading the alliance in crisis and war. For the first time since NATO's founding, every major operational command will now be led by European officers. I mean, I know we always have this conversation, but when, if ever, will we be able to repair our place in the world?
I don't know. I think it's not just about like getting the White House back and getting Congress back. It's about the fact that the American people elected this guy twice, and I don't think our foreign allies trust what we will do in the future beyond what we do in 2026 and 2028. So it's not just about this snapshot in time. Like when Biden got the White House back, everyone sort of had a sigh of relief. I don't know that they're going to do that again because we elected Trump again.
And I know we're all joking about, defeating party balloons. Chris confirmed that we did not bomb Party City this morning.
Right, because they went out of business.
Yeah, but if they hadn't, but someone put it, so Pete Hegseth used an untested laser system powerful enough to down drones, blind pilots, and damage planes without notifying the FAA, forcing Sean Duffy to shut down airspace over El Paso, all because they thought they were under attack by what turned out to be party balloons. I'm sure he'll find a way to blame Biden and DEI. I mean, this is, beside being evil, just a complete clown show every day.
Well, as long as Kristi Noem has her blankie, I think
that was the next one I had ready for you. Yes,
look at that.
Firing a pilot for leaving Kristi Noem's blanket behind, berating staff when she's not on TV enough, inside the constant chaos at DHS. You said yes, she fired a pilot over her. What is she, Linus? Like, it's just astounding. I mean, the chaos in every department, right?
Oh, that's by design. That's by design. But this whole like super big like entourages and security and firing people when they don't do any, it's just so Eva Braun. It's just so elitist. It's like they have this idea of themselves being so very important when our government officials should not be important. And I think that's kind of one of the reasons that we're here right now, is that people put too much celebrity on status on our politicians when they're supposed to be like, we're not supposed to know the name of the deputy chief of staff.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
By the way, I know you adore Jasmine Crockett like I do. I think she's going to save the world. You said new playbook for congressional hearings. Take a page from Jasmine Crockett. Don't ask Trump administration's officials any questions. Just make points for 5 minutes. Republicans will use up all their time letting them answer, then just yell clapbacks from time to time. I mean, I just love that she just didn't give Pam Bondi a chance. She just got bunch of stuff on the record, right?
Right. And like, if Pam Bondi's going to just steamroll over the rules of decorum, then we should too. And that's why I loved when Jasmine Crockett like interrupted her and said, "What?" and like blah blah blah, and then got up and walked away. Like that's how we're going to have to do it from now on. As long as we can't keep doing the Robert's Rules of Order with these people.
It's hard to pick a low with any, right? Calling a Holocaust survivor's granddaughter anti-Semitic. You're just like, oh my God. I mean, she spent so much time on her burn book. She didn't even know who she was talking to exactly.
I
right?
loved it when Barron was like, look, secretary. And she's like, I am the attorney general. She's like, oh, I didn't notice. Or,
sorry, couldn't tell.
Yeah.
And so speaking of the surveillance, so we're talking about Pramila Jayapal. It is hilariously, again, stupid that they actually like labeled it that in something that could be photographed, right? They label it, the Pramila Jayapal, blah, blah, blah. She said, she said this idea the DOJ is spying on members of Congress using our search history as part of her burn book. That was the binder full of Oppo research on every single one of us members of Congress is absolutely unacceptable. It's a violation of separation of powers. I'm going to say we're demanding an end to surveillance, a new process. We're assured the DOJ is not spying on any member. We need an investigation. Dear God, every new hearing like spawns a new investigation, and I don't know how many counts of perjury, right?
Right. And I liked what Jared Moskowitz did. He's like, hey, pull out your burn book and find your best zinger. Go for it. And hey, it's the Olympics. I'm going to give you a score.
That's great. That's how you handle it, with humor, right? Because they're just so ridiculous. So let's talk about some other stuff. The ICE hearings, obviously, yesterday. You had a number of great points. You said these two a-holes are having a conversation like things are just totally normal with ICE, and all we need is some administrative recommendations on improved training and standard operating procedures. How can we fix the Gestapo is a ridiculous tactic. God, ICE must be abolished. Thank you. That was... by the way, can I just... Okay, let me give you some ridiculousness. Here's Senator Rick Scott.
We don't want to, no one wanted Renee Good to die or Alex Pretty, but what about Laken Riley or Jocelyn Ngari or Rachel Moran, any of these individuals? What about all the rapes that we've heard about all around this country?
Oh, from Epstein? Oh, I'm sorry, different rapes. I see.
Other rapes.
This whataboutism is going to drive me insane, Allison. It really is. This is and first of all, no Democrats smeared Laken Riley like they've smeared Alex Pretty and Renee Good, right? That's the big difference.
No. Well, and the other big difference is that their killers were convicted and are going to prison. They're prosecuting. Whereas the Alex Pretty and Renee Good murders, the feds are anti-prosecuting. They aren't even sharing the information with Minnesota authorities and prosecutors.
Right.
So what we're protesting is that there's no justice for these killings. Those killings that they mention have received justice.
What has happened when Rand Paul has become the voice of reason? You said
you should apply for that ophthalmologist thing again.
Yeah.
He's doing good.
Oh yes, he's an unregulated ophthalmologist. We speculated that he does eye surgery with a rusty spoon.
It'd be better than what Pam Bondi's doing.
A rusty melon baller. But you said under questioning by Rand Paul, ICE officials confirmed that yelling at officers is not assault and recording officers is not a crime. Thank you. This is, Senator Andy Kim at the ICE hearing.
This was an occupation of an American state, of an American city. And going forward, that damage has been done, regardless of what Thom Homan announced today. When this administration, and I asked this directly to the ICE head of ICE, they are still pushing forward without an actual independent investigation.
Yeah, and Ruben Gallego, I don't know about you, we love him. He's been a friend of the Stephanie Miller Show for a long time, but with Todd Lyons, this ICE chief yesterday.
If you look at the Renee Good shooting, why is the agent holding a camera phone and a weapon at the same time?
Agents have used it
as far as if they were going to make an arrest, say, on an agitator, the U.S. attorney was requiring to have video leading up to the event.
In what world, in what training have you ever been taught what the appropriate use of you holding a weapon and at the same time recording on a camera phone?
No, sir, I haven't.
That maybe you shouldn't be holding a camera, trying to be influencer, and wielding a weapon at the same time.
Wow.
That was the actual directive, Allison, is just disgusting.
It's to get it on tape so we can
get
put
it on tape and as
media.
dramatic as possible, because you're wondering, like, why is the guy murdering Renee Good taping it? Like, why are they taping their own snuff films? Because they were ordered to. Because they thought,
There's a
this
way-
is great red meat for the
Way to
base.
solve that problem. It's called body worn cameras. I don't-
Yeah. Anyway, one last one, Ruben Gallego.
After Renee Good was shot, the agent called her I quote, a fucking bitch on camera. Yes or no? Is this how your agents are trained to act?
No, sir.
Is that professional
No,
in that
sir.
regard?
I know.
Why do we have to talk about
this stuff? Even
ask
has
that
to be
in a
asked.
hearing? Yeah.
This stuff even has to be asked. Is like, anyway. I mean, I hope we get justice
At least
for
he
them.
didn't know. At least he didn't like Pam Bondi it.
You know what? There is that. Yeah.
The Dow's 50,000, right. All right, so much more to get to. 19 minutes after the hour. This Porsche. Carlos, I dare you to do the entire show in Spanish, just to piss MAGA
Sí,
off.
como no, porque yo estoy estudiando Duolingo con mi teléfono. I thought, I guess the power went on the computers, couldn't boot up. I guess we were using the telephone power poles from Bunny's halftime.
We were, yeah.
Good night, folks.
Hello.
Is this thing on? Hello.
We're using Puerto Rican electricity.
Puerto Rico, where
You
Jake
know-
Paul lives, buddy,
Thank
says
you.
that.
Oh, yeah. The whole Jake Paul thing. Have you heard about that?
No, what's that about?
Not to mention, he was rooting for his Olympian girlfriend, fiance lady who is not American,
Right.
and was rooting for non-team USA at the Olympics.
Oh,
or
my
whatever.
God. Oh, my
Listen,
God.
this is a joke. I said the marriage won't last as long as her Olympic record-breaking time, but I am
Can I
happy
just say,
for them.
we talked-
But what they do is the Jake Paul are one of several American, also American-adjacent people that buy up mansions and suck up all the public beaches.
Yeah. By the way, we were saying we had a caller yesterday, Puerto Rican from New York, and I was remembering that I used to be in the Hot 97 parade and on the Hot 97 float in the Puerto Rican Day Parade every year, and it reminded me. It was the best parade in New York. It reminded me of Bad Bunny's halftime show. It was just
there
like
there's a little bit of
joyful.
doping going on at the Puerto Rican parades.
Little what?
I remember those stories. There's a little bit of touchy-touchy.
So there was some touchy-touchy that always went on.
It was way.
Déjame.
Uh-huh.
I loved it. I loved the Puerto Rican Day Parade. Viva la Puerto Rico!
Kind of well known for its sexual harassment.
Rico.
But it was
all the countries.
I'm just saying I thought it was joyful, diverse. It was like a big joyful noise, diverse. Just, I and by the way, only the right wing could call a straight guy singing during a straight wedding gay. Some Republican congressman said it was too gay, right?
It was too gay. Who cares if it's gay?
What?
Listen, this is the NFL expanding its business. They played in Mexico. They played in Spain. They're going back there again. They're going to Australia next year. So they're expanding their. Yeah. Did they lose 5 million whining point customers? They're going to come back to football. There's nothing else they can do except fish, hunt, walk my dog, tell my kids to fear people. Then I'm coming back to football. They gained 400 million. Yep. So 5 million versus 400 million. 395 million people that they gained, over 5 million people who will come back. They're not going to not watch football.
They just cannot. This is going on now for days, right? Who is this Newsmax host? Greg Kelly said of the NFL's trying to destroy America. God, we need some very scary music and screams, and this is really horrifying. They're trying to destroy America. I do believe the NFL, they have no interest in this country or its culture. They're interested in money. What? A business is interested in money? Is that new? Is that? Oh my God!
I do know the NFL hates Trump, and Trump has always plotted to get his revenge. And
yes.
Mr. Bone Spurs doesn't have the guts to show up in person. I'm not going anywhere to get a booby. You can't make me.
So
I made.
Greg Kelly said a couple of weird things off the top. That black national anthem. I know they do this in smaller games, but what the hell? I mean, it's crazy. The black, white. No, we're the red, white, and blue. Bad Bunny, bad guy. Why is he jumping up and down on a car? That's like a riot. That's code for rioting or something. I think the whole thing had an LGBT queerish kind of vibe, right, with the colors. Oh, are colors automatically gay now?
Colors are gay.
Yeah, the rainbow's gay.
Yeah.
Colors are gay?
Unfortunately, Hawaii kowtowed, and it used to be the University of Hawaii Rainbow Warriors.
That's right.
Yes.
Now it's just the Warriors because I guess they got scared.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
because they got a little of the gay on them.
You posted, Carlos, first of all, the halftime show was beautiful. Secondly, the populations of Spain and Mexico combine 180 million. NFL has been to Mexico and Spain now include the populations of all the Spanish-speaking countries of the Americas that Benito mentioned. That's how much the NFL is expanding their business. No churning point audience is going to put a dent in that. Vamos NFL.
Vamos NFL.
Yeah.
I now call them whining point. But turning point will work. But yeah, that again, as I said, I believe you can quick Google is like 400 million Spanish speakers in the world. There's 1.5 to 2 billion English speakers, but some of those are people that are learning English as a second language. So it's at least 400,000 of those. So you could probably 700,000 people, 700 million Spanish-speaking people in the world. You've just gained all of those customers. It's about expanding the market. That's why we go to London. That's why we play in Germany. That's why we're playing in Australia. Wow. We're expanding the world business. We're doing the opposite of what Trump wants to do, which is isolate ourselves.
Yeah, that too. Hi, media mogul Allison Gill is here, everybody.
That's right.
Okay, where do we start with? John Fetterman said, I met with Secretary Noem. I've always treated her with respect. I refuse, never will engage in the kinds of sexist terms like Ice Barbie that the left media will use. And you just said, watch him vote for the SAVE Act and disenfranchise millions of women. I mean...
Totally. Yeah.
Okay. I've given up. I don't know what's up with him, but by the way, we're saying women have officially changed their code about never calling other women the C word after the Bondi hearing. That's just in case you were wondering if the rule is still in place. It's not. So talk to us a little bit about the SAVE Act. About I ask everyone this because I don't know about you, Allison. Everyone asks me about election security for the midterms.
Yeah, everyone asked me about election security in 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, still, it's there's so many different ways. The SAVE Act is one of them, but it's having ICE at polling places. Trump said yesterday, no mail-in votes. Like, I have to stack this big every week for Glenn Kirshner. Is that legal? Is that legal? Can he do that? Because the problem is, how many times have we said, oh, we can't do that, and he just does it.
Right. This is one of those things where I accept the things I cannot change and do the, try not to worry about things that I personally can't impact.
The serenity prayer. Okay, good idea.
My job in this election and every election is to vote and make sure that all my neighbors can vote, maybe give rides to the polling places. It's up to folks like the amazing Mark Elias.
Yes.
Or, maybe Jack Smith's new law firm or, other very important lawyers with the DNC and the Democratic Party to prevent him from coming in and seizing voting machines, which is what I think he's going to try to do, given what he did in Fulton County, Georgia, and Puerto Rico with Tulsi and dragging Tulsi Gabbard into it to say it's foreign election interference. So to give him justification to come and snag voting machines. So that's kind of, I'm letting the legal minds, the people who can do something about that, and the courts worry about that, trying to figure out on the ground how to get around that, how to escort people to the polls, things that I can do.
That's good advice. Speaking of Tulsi Gabbard, save this one for you. Oh, my God. The highly classified whistleblower complaint against DNI Tulsi Gabbard is related to a conversation intercepted last spring in which two foreign nationals discussed Jared Kushner. Oh, my goodness. Couldn't be determined which country the foreign nationals are from or what they discussed about Kushner. I don't know, Allison, you got any wild guesses on that? But the connection to Kushner sheds further light on the top-secret whistleblower complaint that bureaucratically stalled within Gabbard's agency for 8 months and was kept locked in a safe until it reached Congress in a heavily redacted form. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I spent 45 minutes talking to Andrew Bakai, the whistleblower attorney. You can find that interview on melishewrote.com. And we know that the conversation was about Iran. So I'm assuming the conversation involved Russia and or Israel and or
Russia. There's that country.
Iran and or maybe Qatar. Like,
Yeah.
it's not. I mean, remember the World Cup? Him and Elon and MSB all hanging out.
Yeah.
They're doing something, and it's they want to, I think, sort of attack the foundation of the global economy so that they can come in and put their own cryptocurrency in and make little weird utopia cities for eugenics projects. And
Yeah,
stuff like
but Hunter's laptop and also the Dow, Allison. Okay.
The Dow.
The Dow.
The Dow.
Can I just say, to your point about we can only vote, we can only do what we can do? Fox News host Brian Kilmeade warned that Democrats are on a roll since Trump took office, urging Republicans to shore up their communication strategy for the midterms. Democrats have flipped 25 state legislative seats. Republicans have flipped 0. He said the numbers don't lie. As much as they're winning with pronouns, no, they're not. Republicans have to find a way to communicate that they're the better way. Yeah, well, they're most clearly not. So, after your thoughts on that, after the hard break, Allison Gill's here. Well, we welcome Elijah McGrain. Did I say that right? Of Native Path, my favorite supplement. Good morning, Elijah.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here.
I have to tell you, I have my Native Path in my coffee. I put 1 scoop in every morning. Talk first of all, just in general, why collagen is so important. I know it's the most abundant protein in our body, but I lie about my age, just so you know. But your supply drops as you age. So tell us why it's so popular now and so important.
Collagen is in our minds almost a foundational part of the diet, right? And it's something 100 years ago that was much more common to get in the diet because our diet was much more broad. We had we had a lot of stocks and soups, and it was easier to get collagen. Whereas now, with kind of that ultra processed landscape, it's much more difficult. And collagen is really, like you said, it's one of the most abundant proteins in your body, and it's really kind of a building block for joints, skin, even the lining of your stomach, of your gut.
Yeah.
And after about between 30 and 40, the collagen content in your body actually starts to drop. So, and the only way your body doesn't synthesize enough of it to kind of keep up with that loss. So one of the best ways to get that is through supplementation.
I accidentally ran out once, and I'm telling you, I hike every day. I bike, maybe 40, 50 miles a week. I could feel the difference. So I used to take separate pills for everything, hair, skin, nails, all those really expensive supplements. But
Of course, yeah.
This one has everything in there, right? We have, people that have told us they can see their hair and their skin, their, their nails growing faster. Let me also say this is a great deal for the best quality stuff. Right now, you can get a special bundle deal at a fraction of the retail price and free shipping. The offer only available at getnativepath.com/Stephanie for the best collagen. Elijah, thank you so much. Such great information. Oh, well, hey there, Political Voices viewers. It's me, Stephanie Miller. Thanks so much for being here and supporting the channel. When you like, comment, or subscribe, it really helps us and our sponsors, and it's the sponsors who make this show possible. So we really appreciate you supporting the people who support us. Stay right here for a quick message from one of those sponsors.
Hi everybody, this is Bob Circosta, and it's time for another Bob's Best Buys. And today we're talking about pain, something we can all relate to, right? Whether it be stiff joints, sore knees, or those everyday aches and pains. Well, now there's a way to help control the pain, and it's called Artrex, a cream that works. From the team at BioVed, Artrex is activated by Ayurveda, an ingredient that's been around for 5,000 years. It focuses on natural wellness, promoting circulation, and helping to fight inflammation. It's plant-based and absorbs fast. And just for listening right now, BioVet has put together a special package you won't find anywhere else. Go to biovetproducts.com/Bob. That's biovetproducts.com/Bob. Isn't it time to feel better, move better, and live better? Now you can with Artrex.
On a nearly 5-hour Karen-thon in front of the House Judiciary Committee yesterday. And for those who are wondering when the abuse of power will end, the answer is never, probably. So a photographer got a shot of her folder. She opened the folder. They got a shot, and you see a page that says Jayapal Pramila search history. That refers to Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal, a Democrat, with whom Bondi exchanged in one of the most contentious exchanges of the day. The photo appears to show a list of everything Jayapal searched for in the Trump Epstein files, which again we've trademarked. They tracked her search history in the private room at the DOJ, where Congresspeople are, legally permitted to look at the less redacted files. And it would seem that they tracked those Congresspeople without their knowledge. They looked at their search history to give Bondi an edge in the hearings, and then they're so dumb they printed it out and put a title on the top. Jayapal Pramila search history. It's such a delicate balance between stupid and evil. And the idea that the Department of Justice...
This is what Frangel always says. We are going to find a folder that just says illegal. We did. Will all be laid out so the Nuremberg type trials will be easier, right?
Oh, yeah. I remember going through those Eastman emails on January 6th, and he's got a subject line that says, any of those pardons still available? Like, they just announce their crimes.
All right, I gotta
think they're going to have any consequences because they haven't so far.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
That just the look on Pam Bondi's face, just that smug. It literally is like they think they're going to be in power forever. Oh, that was a good Pam Bondi. Thank you. That was good.
I have no upper lip as well, so I can do.
Gotta get your take on this. So Jeffries urges Democrats not to disrupt Trump's State of the Union. So, God, this effing thing. He said, Jeffries said there's two options for how to approach the State of the Union. The first option, lawmakers can boycott the event, as has been done before. Second, they can sit in silent defiance. I say they don't show en masse. Like, I don't know how else to telegraph that. I love Melanie Stansbury standing. I don't know if it was the last State of the Union, just with a sign that just said, "This is not normal." I don't know what you think, but I don't know how else we telegraph that this is really an SOS time in our history.
They all just should wear shirts that say F Trump. Real big.
I like it.
Real big.
I like it.
Quiet.
All right. Tony in North Carolina, you are on with Allison.
Yeah, I love the term Epstein class, and I think you can connect that right to Citizens United. It's all the same pile of, can I say poop?
Yes, you can say poop.
Just
on this show?
Ugly. It's all ugly.
Yep. Absolutely. Mary in Virginia Beach, you're on with Allison. Hello.
Hey, Seth.
Hi.
Hey, guys. Good luck on your vacation next week, Bella.
Oh, thank you.
Good luck. Yeah.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Yeah, I don't know where she's going, but nowadays you need luck, I guess.
Yeah.
The reason I called is I found something on Zorro Ranch. In the West, land commissioners hold a lot of weight. They're kind of like up there with the DA, and it moves on up, but land commissioners are right up there.
Right.
Well, the land commissioner is launching an investigation into Zora Ranch because they have found out through an email that 2 girls, through some kind of rough fetish sex, they say, were murdered.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Now they're going to.
Yeah, there's a lot of that in the Allison, in the files that you're just like,
Well, they
wait.
need to dig up the land on the island and at Zora, and I mean, have Poland come in, get a search warrant, dig it up.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm like, is everybody reading the same stuff I'm reading? Like, shouldn't something be done about this? Like, cadaver dog something? I mean, it's
Like
okay.
the FBI investigate it or something.
Right. Yeah, something like that. All right, let's get into the fun stuff. The Kristi Noem Corey Lewandowski expose.
Oh boy.
According to the journal, Trump and his advisors are uncomfortable. Oh, are they? Is the child rapist uncomfortable? He's uncomfortable with their romantic relationship. Yeah, because he's nothing. So the serial adulterer / child rapist, he's concerned about the optics of the
optics.
Okay, got it. Right, blah, blah, blah. They said Lewandowski and Noem, who are both married, have publicly denied the reports of their affair, but people say they do little to hide it inside the department. This would be your party of family values, gays or icky party. Just,
yeah, I mean, it's like Bridgerton. Ooh. I just I'm like, just get a divorce. Like, just do it right. I don't understand all the...
Yeah.
And then the blanket was missing. Maybe that was the blanket they needed to hide some of their love. I'm not sure.
The Mile High Club, yes. God. Yeah, I mean, it's all skeevy. After being denied his job, the job as Noem's chief of staff, as the kids are calling it. So he got this special government employee thing. Even the White House counsel office opened an inquiry into his potential abuse of his position. If this White House thinks you're corrupt, holy crap. So it raised alarm bells with inside the White House and the DHS. This guy's, of course, still got a job, right? Noem and this is where we were talking about earlier about ICE. Noem and Lewandowski demanded that ICE capture its arrests on video for social media. The more dramatic, the better. Wow. So then they blamed, what's his name? The other guy, Ted Lyons, right? Todd Lyons.
Yeah.
They pinned the blame on him, even though they're the ones that directed that, right? Because then obviously they started getting bad press and blowback from the videos that were coming out of Minneapolis.
Oh yeah, and so he's de facto running this joint, right?
Yeah.
I think him running it is the only reason she probably hasn't been completely fired yet. They wanted to fire her last year because she wasn't building concentration camps fast enough. So they're evil. And Stephen Miller's evil. That whole new piece came out on her in the Wall Street Journal. Stephen Miller's not mentioned once, by the way. But Stephen Miller directs Lewandowski, who directs Noem. So she's not even a secretary of her own agency.
Right.
In more ways than one.
God. So blah blah blah. Where are we? Yes. Oh, how jealous she is of Thom Hartmann. She routinely berated.
I love this.
Me too. Ooh, it's Bridgerton. Give me the tea.
She routinely berated staff if she saw Hartmann on TV. Kept track of both of their appearances to make sure she was on TV more.
These people are so narcissistic.
Noem and Lewandowski have reportedly fired or demoted roughly 80% of the career ICE field leadership that was in place when they started. In one instance, Noem this was the plane thing, she had to switch planes after a maintenance issue, blah, blah. Her blankie wasn't moved, as you said. She alleged to have tried to fire the Coast Guard pilot responsible for flying her, who was told to take a commercial flight home. The pilot was reinstated, though, after Noem and her team realized they didn't have another pilot to fly them home. I mean, this is an ongoing clown show every single second of every day, Allison.
I think I'm going to call it Hillbilly Bridgerton.
Yes, perfect.
I like Kid Rock, Hillbilly Vanilli. That's true.
Hillbilly Vanilli was so good with
That's so good. And then this is like so, who am I thinking of? Andy Griffith. Don Knotts, that guy.
Barney Fife.
This is so Barney Fife. So this was a whole thing about Lewandowski demanding a badge and a gun. So this went on and on forever because he was told that, you have to go through law enforcement training. We can't, I mean, it's like, what's his name?
So they gave him a gun with no bullets.
Who got the fake badge for the candidate? Who am I thinking
like
of? Herschel Walker.
But a gun, like a little honk honk when you pull the trigger.
Yeah. Or if a little flag pops out.
These people.
That says bang, yeah.
They're all the same. You're right. They're just narcissistic clowns. Okay. Yeah. So DHS shutdown likely after Senate rejects funding. I'm hoping, like you said, Allison, you can't, what do you call it? Reform the Gestapo. You've got to abolish it and start over.
Yeah. Unfortunately, because we don't even hold one chamber of the House or the presidency, we can't abolish the agency yet.
Right.
Because that you have to do that by law. But we can certainly, defang it.
Right.
We can't even defund it. Senator Sanders tried to do an amendment to defund the big, beautiful bill supplemental money that keeps ICE and CBP open during a shutdown. All Democrats voted for that, 2 Republicans also, but it still didn't pass. So they tried to defund. Now they're trying to defang.
Yeah, yeah. I love Governor Walz. So he's so dad. He's talked about ICE. He said, I will volunteer. We will help get you to the airport. We'll clear the roads to get you to the airport. I'll come over and pack your damn bags. Again, he said, this is a trust but verify. I am skeptically optimistic. I don't know about you, Allison. We're getting reports, from the ground there that ICE has not left. Like Chris and I said, the moment Holman announced it, you're like, we'll see, right?
That's the 3rd time they've said they're going to a kinder, gentler ICE, and I just don't believe it until I see it. And I just imagine Tim Walz like, I'm going to pull this car over and you can walk to the airport.
Yeah. What? So Governor Walz, Thom Holman, when he did this press conference, he said he's ending the operation. He claimed Trump agreed with the idea. Well, like I said yesterday, Allison, until someone on Fox calls him up, and then he'll reverse course again. Holman said the immigration operation, quote, yielded the successful results the Trump administration was looking for. Oh, I see. Mission accomplished. A couple of dead civilians. I mean, they're just going to, if they do leave, just claim victory in some way, right? Like,
yeah, they arrested like 9 guys. We got the information that fewer than 2% of the people that they detain are actual rapists and murderers. Fewer than 2% are actual gang members. 40% have committed no crime at all. But yeah, okay, mission accomplished.
Yeah. That's what you call mission accomplished. This is the thing. Oh, this guy, Representative Jason Smith.
Oh God, him.
Who is described here as has a strong case of gay voice, has never been married, and is close friends with former GOP Representative Aaron Circuit Party Shock.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Oh my God.
He said. What's that?
Nothing, please.
He said, why should you ban
GOP
ICE?
Bridgerton. Yeah.
She's on a roll this morning. Why should you ban ICE from being at polling places? Because illegals aren't supposed to vote in America. I mean, it doesn't make sense, the request they're having. Enforce the rule of law. That's what President Trump is doing. Apparently, Democrats don't like the rule of law. They don't like the rule of law. They need to change it. They've never changed it, but they're complaining now. As Glenn Kirshner told us, of course it's illegal to send ICE to the polling places, right?
That guy talks like 2-year-olds tell jokes.
Yes.
What about this? And don't you do this? And then I went there. And then I was no, we don't like people, decked out in Army fatigues, camo bulletproof vests, and AK-47s at our polling places.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a brown person to hate that.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. One last thing. I don't know if you watched any of this Keith Ellison hearing. Noted fisting aficionado Josh Hawley.
Josh Hawley?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
Noted fisting aficionado.
He likes
I heard you, but
he likes to fist.
Yeah. He fisted on January 6th.
Got it.
The crowd.
Got it. I was like, do you know
terrorists.
something I don't know on Hillbilly Bridgerton?
She needs all the tea this morning.
Yeah.
It's weird. I am a tea aficionado. I actually have Bridgerton tea upstairs. They make a.
Yes.
They make us. I'm going to bring it down for our last segment.
Please do.
Okay. So Hawley and Ellison threw down over the group convicted of fraud in the state, and they tried to tie. Anyway, Ellison said it was all lies. They tried to tie a campaign contribution to blah blah blah. But I mean, this is not how hearings go now. Ellison said, "I'm not." He called him pal. He said, "I'm not your pal. Don't call me pal." And Hawley said, "Well, I should call you prisoner because you should be in jail." And Ellison just said, "We'll see what you can do about it." I mean, listen. After the Mark Kelly stuff, this is what you do. You say pound sand. Right? I mean,
go ahead. I dare you. You've done so well with indictments before.
Right.
And then just list off the 19, major political enemies that they failed to get. That no bill, by the way, for the 6 members of Congress, including Mark Kelly, it wasn't just a no bill. They couldn't just not get a majority. They got 0 votes from the grand jury on a true bill.
Yeah.
And all of my peeps that I know in the Justice Department and legal scholars are like, I've never heard of a shutout in a federal grand jury.
Well, and Allison, for us lay people, you got to keep remembering a grand jury doesn't hear the defense. They only hear the prosecution and whatever they want to say. And so that's why you can indict a ham sandwich. And so that
you can't indict a ham sandwich anymore, though. Sandwich guy, they couldn't indict him.
Guy.
Yeah, that's true.
Got off. All right, 48 minutes after the hour, this portion of the show brought.
Hi, Stephanie. I don't know if you know this about me. I'm an economy hobbyist. I like economics.
Okay.
It's weird because I'm not good at math, but I love economics.
Well, you're 16 different kinds of nerd, so I didn't know that layer. But go ahead.
Very, very true, of course. And we have new jobs numbers today.
Oh, do we? Are they in?
Yes, they're most likely falsified. I got to preference that. I got to preface by saying that Donald, either through direct interference or through coercion, allegedly, I'm going to put it allegedly, meddled with these numbers.
Yeah.
Because, of course, if you report bad numbers, he's going to fire you.
Yep.
So
Right.
that's a big factor in
we
this.
said
And
this.
even still,
we said this. Remember back a few months where you're never going to see real numbers again.
No.
Right.
In fact, keep a close eye on the ADP monthly jobs report. Because, for example, ADP reported that for January 2026, only 22,000 jobs were added. But according to BLS, under Donald Trump, 130,000 jobs were added in January. However, here's the big headline as far as I'm concerned with this latest jobs report. The average monthly jobs added under Donald, the total jobs added under Donald Trump for 2025, 181,000. Total, after being revised down by 400,000, the total number of jobs added by Donald Trump in his first year in office, 181,000. The total for Joe Biden in 2024, 2.2 million.
Yeah.
So, as I said, I'm not great at math, but I think 2.2 million is significantly higher than 181,000.
Yeah. Speaking of numbers, I saw the Rasmussen, the right-wing poll, basically saying that, if the election were held today, Biden would have won by 8 points or something. I just want to smash something into my head. But yeah, his numbers, even in Rasmussen, have tanked. But Bob, to go to Chris's point off the top of the show about, are we ever going to trust our government again? They used to be the government conspiracy theories going back to Tim McVeigh or whatever. But now we're like, nobody trusts the government on anything. The Epstein files, anything the FBI says, jobs numbers, right?
Yeah, of course not, because Donald has entered into realms where the president should not go, whether it's making the Department of Justice his own personal police force, his own personal defense team, but then also when it comes to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, which I think is crucial. And in fact, Jerome Powell has screamed about this in his mild-mannered Jerome Powell screaming way. But, he's been saying that if you can't trust what BLS is reporting, then everything tends to fall apart. And what we know is that Donald Trump fired McIntyre back in June, who's the commissioner of Bureau of Labor Statistics, and because she reported bad numbers for 1 month. And so this is an indication that what Donald wants are people who are going to lie about the jobs numbers for him, either by default or by coercion or both, because they're afraid of losing their jobs. They're afraid of pissing off the guy in the whiny diaper baby in the Oval Office.
By the way, I just was thinking as you were talking, maybe he foreshadowed this, and this was at the NBC interview. He was asked about, is this the Trump economy now? And he's like, yes, it is, and I'm very proud of it. Despite every indicator, maybe he knew he was going to order them to, cook the jobs numbers. Yeah. I mean, we don't know why they closed the airspace around El Paso. You don't trust the government to tell the truth about anything anymore.
Oh, yes. And the first thing I saw this morning when I opened up Blue Sky was Will Bunch posting that his theory about why they closed the airspace around El Paso was to do a nuclear test. And so that's how I started my day.
Oh,
so
God.
when it's like that. It can either get a whole lot worse or a whole lot better.
But
when you start with nuclear tests,
I think we would notice if they did a nuclear test.
With the price of coffee, we're less able to spit our coffee out from our first morning news. We're like, oh no,
That's
no,
right.
like, that's too expensive.
Of course,
Don't spit.
It's fair to assume that something like that is in the offing because he's been talking about that.
Yeah.
He's been talking, because he wants to go back to the 1950s when we were spreading radiation around the globe,
Yes.
causing untold numbers of cancers.
Measles,
in people.
polio, fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes.
He wants
Okay.
more of that when America was great.
When America was segregated.
Well,
right.
This was just what was this? A couple days ago, Bob, CNN's business reporter said Thursday's brutal jobs report is a bad way to start 2026. It is Queen's Cake Vanilla Fruit Tea.
I have Bath and Body Works Bridgerton candles.
Alison Gill here to spill all the tea. The Bridgerton tea this morning. All right.
Be a gentle reader.
That was our supposition that Queen was too hammered given her rigorous drinking schedule to notice what Andrew was up to.
We were kind of obsessed with the Queen's drinking schedule this week.
Yes.
She drank a lot.
Yeah,
during
she
the
was
day.
quite a
One
tippler.
champagne before bed.
Oh!
And wine at lunch.
Exactly.
A vodka wine cocktail.
Wondered what the corgis were on about when Andrew would come in and out at all hours.
But she's never done snuff off the back of a toilet.
Oh, please, we need to hear that again.
God.
I'm
And
sorry.
I said, I'm not scared of a germ. I used to snort cocaine off of toilet seats.
Your Director of Health and Human Services, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Where
I used to do shows with Theo Vaughn. Oh my God.
Yeah.
By the way, you mentioned Baby Goebbels, Pee Wee German, Stephen Miller.
Yep.
GOP senators come to Miller's defense after colleagues call for a White House shakeup. And again, they don't care about his evil policies. They care that they're not playing well and they're not polling well and the optics are bad. But Lindsey Graham, always reliable. He'll always get behind a man, won't he?
Always.
He came to... Oh, Dale spilled the Bridgerton tea. What have you heard about Miss Lindsay? Okay, just kidding.
The fact that you just called him Miss Lindsay, I think.
Oh, did I slip? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Graham came to Miller's defense saying Miller is going to be proven right. We should be more aggressive on immigration policy. Really? How would you get more aggressive than shooting random people in the face, one wonders?
More shooting, I guess. I don't know.
Aye.
What would McCain say about his friend if he were still here?
Right?
Oh, God, I know. Hey, we haven't talked about Congresswoman Handy J in quite a while. Lauren Boebert takes credit for projects she voted against.
Of course she
I do
does.
not think they're going to get away with this in the midterms. They all do this. She said, I'm absolutely thrilled to announce my community project funding requests have been signed into law, delivering a critical $14.7 million boost for vital water and infrastructure projects across Colorado's blah, blah. I fought hard to secure these funds because our rural communities, blah, 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 blah. These investments will make a real difference for thousands of Coloradoans. I'm proud to deliver results for the 4th District. Okay.
She fought hard to secure the funds. She voted no.
Right, but this is what they're going to try in the midterms. And did you see Trump has actually broken Gallup? Gallup is no more. His polling is so bad that they're like, all right, we give up. Right?
Yeah, I saw that. Unless Trump made a deal with them for them to give up.
That's more likely. Yeah.
Probably. Okay, it's just we always talk about international news because why not? The U.S. ambassador to Poland announced this week the U.S. will have no further dealings, contacts, or communications with Vladimir Zelensky.
Oh, him.
Yeah, that guy.
Okay.
The Speaker of the lower house of the Polish parliament over what he called an outrageous and unprovoked insults directed at President Trump just because he dared to say Trump didn't deserve the Nobel. I mean, this is how endlessly embarrassing around the world that if you don't, kiss, I was going to say something worse, kiss Trump's ass. Right. That was apparently all he said. Okay. Speaking of, because you are Mueller, she wrote, Incorporated. Barack Obama tweeted, if Congress doesn't act, the last nuclear arms control treaty between the U.S. and Russia will expire. It would pointlessly wipe out decades of diplomacy and could spark another arms race that makes the world less safe. It is just hard to get your head around the national and international security threat that the Trump administration poses.
At this point, it's why not? Let's just throw another log on the fire. Fine. You know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Great.
You might want more of Allison Gill, and I know I do. She's a MSW media, Daily Beans, Unjustified, Clean Up on Aisle 45. It goes on and on and on. And I still can't get enough of you. Thanks for coming, Allison Gill.
We love you, Allison.
We love you.